The speed of the boss is the speed of the team. If you're a boss and you want to fly, you definitely will earn a lot by measuring first the speed of your team to be sure that you have the right speed before you take off. That's how I want to say good morning to you, especially if you're a boss this morning and you're watching us. Thank you for trusting the CRTV and for choosing to wake up with us. It's 3 hours of exceptional everything that we are about to bring to you. So please stay with us. You're doing the right thing. Let's start by updating you on what's been happening in and around the country in the past hours.
Ces tout petits de la maternelle ambitionnent l'année prochaine d'être au secondaire. Et ce n'est pas facile. Il faut passer d'abord par des épreuves comme les mathématiques, le français et autres. Et comme c'est la première fois qu'ils affrontent le concours, les parents ont tenu à les y accompagner.
Je suis très fière d'être ici. J'ai mon enfant, 9 ans, qui est ici et j'espère que tout va bien passer aujourd'hui.
Ils sont 372 candidats au Common Entrance à l'école publique Likoko Mambeya, où tout s'est déroulé dans la sérénité.
Ça a passé très bien. Les parents sont venus avec les enfants. Les enseignants sont venus aussi.
Les enfants, très enthousiastes, sont confiants du résultat positif qui sera le leur.
J'ai envie que mes amis soient un peu intelligents, comme ça ils vont passer aussi. Comme ça nous tous on peut partir.
Au lycée bilingue de Moliko, 90 candidats ont concouru pour l'entrée en 6e dans le calme.
Nous avions commencé tel que ça a été indiqué ce matin avec l'appel des candidats qui a commencé à 7h15. La première épreuve a débuté à 8h10. Nous avions compté 94 candidats, parmi lesquels un candidat est arrivé ce matin, son nom n'était pas sur la liste. Nous avons permis de composer pour voir sa situation après. Et sur les 94 candidats, il y a eu 4 absents.
Les corrections se déroulant au fur et à mesure que les épreuves terminent, on attend alors les résultats.
L'ambiance était studieuse ce matin au lycée bilingue de Bertois, l'un des centres de l'examen du General Certificate of Education, en abrégé GCE. Pendant 2 jours, les impétrants à ces diplômes vont flirter avec les épreuves pratiques locales de l'informatique.
Nous sommes en train de travailler sur Word, Excel et certains autres programmes.
On est en train de composer la pratique de l'info. On travaille sur Excel, sur Access et sur d'autres applications comme imprimer et faire des écrans, des captures d'écran. Et je trouve que ce n'est pas trop dur.
Pour le 2e jour, il y aura au programme 2 épreuves, la géologie et la biologie. Aucune absence n'est enregistrée sur les 52 candidats inscrits pour le proviseur du lycée bilingue. Tout se déroule normalement, malgré le doute qui subsistait dans les esprits sur l'effectivité de cet examen au Cameroun.
Comme vous le savez, l'année a été un peu bouleversée. Et ici, chez nous, beaucoup ont cru que, comme d'accord avec leurs frères et des zones anglophones, qu'ils ne composeront pas. Il a fallu d'abord, pendant 2 semaines, leur dire effectivement que vous composerez.
Sur le plan administratif, tout le staff est en place et la surveillance se déroule sans anicroche.
C'est un examen informatique en anglais, Computer Science O-Level. Cette pratique-ci est faite pour tester les connaissances des élèves en bureautique et en programmation au niveau des bases.
Des examens qui annoncent le début de moisson scolaire au Cameroun.
Magnifier le vivre ensemble en cette veille de célébration du 20 mai, voilà ce à quoi obéit cette délocalisation de la station régionale CRTV à Damawa. L'initiative du chef de station Lazare Dolo lui-même, à l'œuvre pour la circonstance, a pour cible pendant toute cette semaine de l'unité nationale les quartiers cosmopolites de Ngaoundéré, la ville métropole régionale de l'Adamawa, où justement les Camerounais de partout cohabitent pacifiquement. C'est le cas des quartiers Joli Soir et Burkina. Ici, c'est précisément au lieu dit Carrefour Taxi que la Dream Team de la fréquence du plateau, comme on l'appelle, a campé son studio de fortune en nom de l'un des programmes phares de la 105 FM. Bonjour Adamawa, le réveil matinal à la grande satisfaction du public qui en demande encore.
C'est une joie si la CRTV pouvait se déporter à chaque fois dans notre quartier et nous aimerions qu'elle continue davantage.
Et si vraiment vous pouvez multiplier ce genre de descentes, à mon avis, ça éviterait beaucoup des incivismes dans nos quartiers respectifs. La CRTV, à domicile, nous ne pouvons que dire merci.
Au rang des témoins de cette radio de proximité, le chef de terre territorialement compétent, dont le choix porté sur sa circonscription n'est nullement un fait de hasard. Comme invité spécial de cette délocalisation du genre, la première autorité administrative de la région.
Et vous avez bien pensé, et nous aussi nous avons ici pensé qu'il fallait rencontrer nos populations, il fallait aller vers elles.
Une sortie qui est loin de s'arrêter en si bon chemin pour une parfaite communion entre CRTV Adamawa et son auditoire.
Quartier anglophone, à l'entendre, l'on se croirait au sud-ouest ou nord-ouest. Mais que non, l'on est bel et bien à Yaoundé, la capitale politique, plus précisément à Emana, au lieu d'Ibonne Fontaine. Depuis des années, les ressortissants des deux régions anglophones de notre pays y sont établis. Cette cohabitation perdure grâce à l'harmonie qui y règne.
J'ai grandi ici au quartier anglophone. Et nous, les anglophones et les francophones, nous vivons très bien ici. Il y a de la paix, l'amour.
Je vis au quartier anglophone depuis 1979. On n'a jamais eu de problème ici au quartier anglo. On vit francophone, anglophone.
Une cohésion, mieux un vivre ensemble qui ne s'oppose plus et qui résulte de l'acceptation de l'autre. Et c'est ça qui fait la force de cette zone où l'intégration est palpable.
Les anglophones sont là depuis très longtemps. Nous vivons tous ensemble, la main dans la main. Tu ne peux même pas savoir qui est anglophone, qui est francophone.
Autre signe distinctif de ce spécimen du vivre ensemble, les restaurants communément appelés tourne-dos portent l'estampille des anglophones. Les mets des uns sont prisés par les autres.
Nous mangeons le hachou, le héros, nous mangeons tous la nourriture anglophone, comme eux aussi mangent notre nourriture francophone.
On mange aussi les nourritures que les francophones peuvent pas, aussi comme le sanga, le pain.
Les témoignages des autochtones font mention que 80% des habitations qui existent dans cette zone appartiennent aux anglophones. Anglophones et francophones du quartier Emana Yaoundé ont su passer tout clivage tribal et invitent les autres Camerounais à promouvoir le vivre ensemble harmonieux partout où ils se trouvent.
Il faut que les autres vivent comme les anglophones et les francophones vivent ici au quartier Mananglo.
Cela va sans dire que la cohésion nationale doit être une affaire de tous et de chacun. La vie ici au quartier anglo Emana Yaoundé est un bel exemple, un gage d'intégration nationale et les Camerounais en ont besoin.
These 315 candidates of the English-speaking section of the government bilingual primary school in Ebolova answered present for the 2017 Common Entrance Examination out of the 317 registered. According to this exam official, the start was effective.
The pupils were here by 7:30 and the first paper started at 8:00 a.m. For crisis, we have had 2 children sick. One of them really was a bit serious, and the president of the center has called a doctor who has come to try to rescue the child so that the child can continue. Generally, it is going on well. Writing the last paper now without any incident. I'm sure in the next 30 minutes everything will end without any major problem.
While with the French-speaking section, on the other hand, 316 candidates sat for the concours d'entrée en sixième out of the 321 registered. The Chief of Secretariat, Gilbert Bitter, explains that apart from a few challenges like some late registrations and mild ill health of some pupils, all went well.
The parade rehearsals have been going on for over 2 weeks at the East Gendarmerie Legion. From the application of Legion Commandant Colonel Eyong Joseph to the officers and the rank and file, it is almost like a real thing. No detail is taken for granted.
We have begun training since 2 weeks. The veritable problem now is to respect distance. Dressing is rangers. Black rangers for everybody, and we have what we call a tree. Everybody should have to be in tree.
At the East Regional Delegation for National Security, just under 200 public security personnel have been rehearsing daily for the May 20 parade under the supervision of Commissioner Asa Eric, Regional Delegate for National Security.
We have to make sure that everybody is in good health, in good shape, and actually they do the marching as it is supposed to. It's a show of strength. It's a parade. In a national day like this, the different categories of the forces come together and manifest their strength, and to assure the population that whatever threats the country faces, they have their forces and all the other ones to defend them.
The police do not have only the parade to attend to.
We are also in charge of the security. While practicing, we are taking measures to secure the manifestation of all the activities that will take place.
It promises to be a grand parade, but they shall be marching with their eyes and ears wide open.
The atmosphere of serenity that reigns at the accommodation centers for the practical exams is clear indication of the GC Board's motto, measuring learning with honesty. The government bilingual high school TICO is accommodating not only confessional and lay private schools, but equally the Motombolombo External Center.
The exams which are ongoing and which started yesterday are computer science for the ordinary level students, food science and nutrition for advanced level students, and today engineering science. All of the candidates are not there, but quite a number of them are there. For the computer science, apparently all of the students have turned up. The first session was handled yesterday, some will write today and tomorrow. But I can say confidently that for the food science and nutrition, not all of the students turned up. We expected 104 students in this center and 73 students did the food test. Those are the students who qualify to cook, to do the second part of the exam.
The same prevails at Government High School Limbe, as the Chief of Center, Ayompe Adesa, confirms.
We are accommodating many other schools. We are accommodating St. Anne. We are accommodating New Horizon, GHS Batoke, GHS Bonadikombo, GHS Limbe, and GHS Limbe External. The exam started yesterday, hitch-free. We have 2 labs, one occupied by candidates from St. Anne, and the second lab occupied by candidates from these other centers.
At Government Bilingual High School GBHS Limbe, security, which is among measures advanced for a successful examination session, is a reality given the presence of security men in the campus. Although the examinations are rolling on without major hitches, there was an incident at GHS Bonadikombo, Mile 4 in Limbe.
Months of preparations have led the Cameroon GC examination ordinary level candidates in the North region to the practical room, where they brace the odds with computer science practicals, some for the first time, others giving it another try. With tense concentration, candidates at the Government Bilingual High School Garwa Writing Center brought their months of lessons to practice, with the exams unfolding hitch-free.
The examination is going on hitch-free. There's no major problem we encountered now.
At the Premier International College, Garwa, the candidates were in top spirits following proper preparations.
The GC started off in time. That is, by 7:30, all the candidates were already present. And up to now, we have not had any complaints so far.
A candidate from the first group was enthusiastic about what she gave in.
I wrote well, but I had some difficulties in typing and C programming, but it was good. I wrote well.
Some of her peers also sounded optimistic before getting concentrated with their own practical turn.
I have prepared very well to write the computer practicals. I am very ready, and I know that it is going to be very simple.
I'm very ready, and I'm sure that God will help me to finish the process.
All candidates who registered for the exams clocked 100% presence for the practical session in all 3 writing centers of the North region, with the GC Board examination authorities assuring a success till the end of the written part.
Welcome back on the program. Thank you for choosing to wake up with the CRTV. If you're just joining us, we are just starting very early in the hours of the program, so stay with us and let's have a wonderful ride. I want to throw you back to the 70s. I want to tell you the story of a man who is known as the king of Mangambe. He's called Pierre Didi Chakunte, and he's been in music for about 43 years today. Pierre Didi Chakunte was born on the 28th of August 1950 in New Bell. That's a neighborhood in the Littoral region with the capital city, Douala. And that's where he became very close to music. He stopped school at the secondary school level because he wanted to sing. I mean, he said the bee had stung him, and he knew he just had to go out there and use his voice. So he got very close to Ekambi Briand, and it's thanks to Ekambi Briand that he met Ekambi's producer in France at the time and produced his first album in 1974. But after playing music for some while and then deciding to come back to Cameroon, he realized that, you know, coming from the West region, he wasn't exactly feeling like he was singing something that made him proud. So he thought of adding a plus, looking for something original to add to his style of music. Then he remembered that an uncle had an instrument called the biap. And this instrument is a family heritage. It is transmitted from one father to the son and so on. So what he did is he went to his uncle and decided to be his student. So the student, I mean, he had been singing for a while, unknown. I mean, he had recorded 2 albums and all the albums were great successes, but he decided to be a student of his uncle so he could learn to play the biap. You know, the biap is that thing that he eventually became known for. So I'm taking you to a performance he did with the CRTV many years down the line. Actually, if we could watch the full concert, you would see it's presented by Rose Epie and some other faces that you knew. But then let's stay with Pierre Didi Chakunte and a song he did with his biap on the CRTV.
Simple, 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 arrosa, simple, 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 arrosa, simple.
Songs he did in the early 70s before discovering that he had a talent further than that, you know, adding something additional, something extra original like his beat to his music. And we thought we could throw you back to that moment. We hope you enjoyed it, though. He has in total 15 albums in the market, and that is something to do when you're in music. Well, let's go listen to what Joyce Abigail has kept for us, what the stars, well, your star or my star, what they have been saying. And she's been reading them and put together the horoscope for you and I. Let's just listen.
Hello, you're welcome to the horoscope. We start with the first born of the house, Aries. Good morning. Your symbol is the ram. Today, Aries, telling the truth and making someone cry is better than telling a lie and making someone smile. You might just have a lot in common with Mabingo Isabel. That is Cameroon's lioness who happens to be an Aryan. Taurus, second born, your symbol is the bull. Good morning. You have been hurt by words before. So before you speak yourself today, think about how your words might affect someone else. Does the name Patience Mani Christine ring a bell? Well, that is a Cameroonian lioness. Gemini, your symbol is the twins. Good morning. You've been thinking a lot, but today, learn to be happy with what you have while you pursue all you want. Say hello to a famous Gemini, Deborah and Genamoit Gael, Cameroon's lioness. Cancer, good morning. Your symbol is the crab. Don't rush. Healing is not an overnight process. It is a daily cleansing of pain. It is a daily routine in life. Take your time and go through it. A famous Cancerian, Ngo Mbak Mbatum. Leo, good morning. Your symbol is the lion. Leo, two things will foster your success in life: the way you manage when you have nothing, and the way you behave when you have everything. Her name is Eberengozi. She is one of Nigeria's super eagles. She is a proud Leo. Virgo, good morning. Your symbol is the Virgin. Remember the three C's of life: choices, chances, and changes. You must make a choice to take a chance, or your life will never change. Sit back and find out more about Cameroon's lioness, Jacquette Ada, cause you sure have a lot in common. We're on to Libra. Good morning. Your symbol is the scales. Libra, let it go. Forgiving people who have hurt you is your gift to them. Forgetting people who have hurt you is your gift to yourself. Hello to this powerful Libran, Michelle Ngonomani. That is Cameroon's lioness. Scorpio, good morning. Your symbol is the scorpion. Now, Scorpio, don't expect too much today. Let it occur to you that when you learn how to accept instead of expecting, you would have fewer disappointments as far as life is concerned. A famous Scorpio, Cameroon's lioness, Yvonne Luco. Sagittarius, good morning. Your symbol is the archer. Take note of the different roles people will play in your life today. Some will test you, some will use you, some will love you, and some will teach you. But the ones that are important are the ones who will bring out the best in you. They are the rare and amazing people who remind you why it's worth it. Keep track with the Nigerian super eagle, Osinachi Ohale, a famous Sagittarius. And on to Capricorn, 10th born. Good morning. Your symbol is the goat. Don't give people the power to decide for you. Believe in yourself. Understand that no one has the right to reign on your dreams. A famous Capricorn, Cameroonian female football star, Ajara Chut Njoya. Aquarius, 11th born. Good morning. Symbol, the water bearer. Bear in mind that your own resolution to succeed is more important than any one thing. However, give yourself a break today. Your cure today is a good laugh and a long sleep. Hello to our own Gabriel Abudi Ongene, Cameroon's lioness and Pisces. Good morning. Your symbol is the fish. Today you might have trust problems with your cycle of friends. However, ignore those people who talk about you behind your back. That's where they belong, behind your back. A famous Python, Nkada Agnes, Cameroon's female football star. Happy birthday, the bells are ringing if you're born on this day. Now we talk your personality traits. When it comes to the positive side of you, you are a very strong, stable, and you have a calming influence on people around you. What says your negatives? You can be very lazy, you can hold a grudge for a really long time, and in many cases, you let your emotions get the better half of you. Happy birthday to you all. Have a blast and keep watching Hello Cameroon.
Much indeed. I join you to say have a blast if today is your birthday, and if you're called Mr. Mike and you're watching me, today is your birthday. Happy birthday to you, Mike, here in Yaoundé. Gladys Monsam, Nko Dogo, and also Jakurumba, happy birthday to you. Tomorrow is going to be the birthday of a lady in Bamenda. It's a lady you might know. She's called Ellen Nyanga. She's she's like her name says, she's a Nyanga woman, and she brings a lot of Nyanga in parties. If you know her, you know what I'm talking about. Happy birthday in advance, Mom. And to all of you, if today's your birthday and I've not mentioned your name, don't worry. Make it your day, however it starts. Today is the early, we are still in the early hours of the day. Seize it and run with it before it gets to midnight. Let's talk about civil society activities, things that individuals like you and myself will go out there to do to make the world a better place. And we're starting with an interest in protecting animals and treating them better. We have here in the studio Chair Gilbert Ayunwi. He initially is an electrician, but he's gone way beyond that to take interest in animals and animal protection. And he's the representative in Cameroon of an international organization for animal protection. Good morning, Gilbert. Or should I say good morning, Ayunwi?
Yeah, I prefer Ayunwi. Good
morning. Ayunwi, how are you?
No, I'm fine.
What does Ayunwi mean? That God has heard?
Yeah, that God hears.
God hears.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not far from it. So tell me, electrician, animal protection, two very far apart things.
Yeah.
Try to link that up for us.
Yeah, the truth is that I grew up from a humble family. We had a lot of animals. Mm-hmm. So being the youngest, it was my responsibility to be
taking care of them.
To be taking care of the animals.
All right.
So with that, it became like part of me. Mm-hmm. So that love for animal grew and grew and grew until it got to this stage. Okay,
but why are we talking about animal cruelty in Cameroon? Do you want to give me examples of some of the things you consider as cruelty?
It's uncountable.
Okay.
If I start naming the examples, I think we might stay here till tomorrow. Mm-hmm. First of all, we don't take care of our animals at all. You have a dog, you don't care if that dog eats, you don't care if that dog drinks water, you don't care if the dog go for medication. So all those are animal cruelty.
Okay.
So our organization is in Cameroon to educate Cameroonians on the importance of protecting and taking care of our animals.
You know, when you talk about animal protection in Cameroon and you're working under a civil society organization, the tendency, I don't know if you heard that the impression, the tendency is of people to think, no, he just wants an easy thing to do. But when I listen to you, and especially on how you came to be part of this, there is something really strong, like a message behind it. What do you usually tell skeptics, people who doubt or who wonder if it's important to talk about animal protection?
Yeah, I think on the field it's really a difficult task.
Okay.
Yeah, to convince people, because first we don't really have people who have animals have it might be for one or two reasons.
Okay.
Some for money, some, for instance, most people use dogs to hunt or as night watch, but which is not what those animals are meant for. Animals are part of nature and should be treated with some care and respect.
Are you saying we shouldn't use them as security? We should keep them only as pets.
They are our companions.
Okay.
Yeah, they are our companions. There is no way you can use an animal for security purpose.
Okay.
It
or
is
security
against,
only, right?
Yes, it is against the animal law.
All right.
It is totally against.
Thank you so much for coming on the program, though. Is there anything else you want to share with us before we will sign out?
Yes, OIPA is an international organization for animal protection.
Okay.
With headquarters in Milan, Italy. And we started in Cameroon since 2012.
Okay.
Finally, we got our authorization from the Ministry of Territorial Administration and Decentralization on the 13th of January 2017. Since then, we've been carrying out many activities, sensitization on animal welfare and environmental protection.
All right.
So far, we have.
Are you hopeful that something is changing?
Yeah, it's changing.
Okay.
So far, we have already planted about 1,280 trees in the Bamenda Highland Forest because that is an habitat for
That's a habitat for animals.
Yeah, for rare species of
habitat
animals.
and food for animals.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ayuni Che Gilbert, for coming on the program. That's a very interesting topic, and I hope we'll be seeing you again in the course of the year to update us on what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
Have a beautiful day.
Thank you.
And
You
talking
too.
about planting trees to feed so that animals can have a home and food, I want to give you something to start your day with. Would you like something? Banana, mango, oranges?
I prefer banana.
Famous. Bananas are very famous. Everybody on my team wants a banana.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful... I'm sure as I give you that one, somebody is like, why didn't you take a mango? So, well, Ayuni, have a beautiful day.
Thank you.
And update us on what you're doing.
Thank you.
Right. Well, sometime in last month, people in the culture industry met in Bamenda for the first phase of a cultural moment that's going to be happening very soon here in Yaoundé, precisely on May the 27th at Palais de Congrès. It's the Kama, or should I say the festival that recognizes talents in film in Cameroon. And it's a big, huge event that is actually being chaperoned by the Minister of Arts and Culture. And the leg, or should I say the foot of the whole affair is a certain godfather who is in Boya. But let's have, these are videos that I want to propose to you of the meeting, of the event in Bamenda, which was like a foretaste, the selection and the naming of the awardees, or the people who stand a chance of winning something during this award ceremony.
Cameroon has been blessed with a lot of endorsement. Ministry of Arts and Culture, Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Communication, Ministry of External Relations, Ministry of Labour and Social Insurance. It means they are pushing us to work hard, because those bodies cannot join us if we agree child's play. So I really want to thank you people for coming and listening to our program, to appreciate our initiative, give you a initiative to come and celebrate with us. You are all welcome.
quelque chose de pertinent à dire, c'est tout simplement que je suis impressionné par la qualité de l'organisation et je voudrais adresser en même temps mes félicitations à l'organisation CAMA 2017.
Pour nous, du ministère des Arts et de la Culture, un projet, n'est-ce pas, qui convient d'être encouragé, un projet qui mérite d'attirer l'attention.
Amazing. We just can't wait for the award itself. The very first edition, and with all this, I must say, we are getting there.
My anticipation for this award is definitely that I should win. Not just me winning, I mean winning for my crew, for Rufina's House, and for every other category in which we have been nominated under.
It passes messages to parents, especially to parents. Don't fight a lot, especially when you have kids.
Oh, the evening was so great. Gosh, I'm so happy this evening. And I wish this continue happening in Bamenda.
It's a good initiative, something that we've been longing for. And I pray it should come to last.
La région du Nord-Ouest n'a pas un sous-sol riche, n'a pas de bois, n'a pas d'or, n'a pas de minerais, mais sa richesse reste dans la culture.
Je pense que ou bien on espère de voir un grand événement.
Les gens qui ont regardé le film ont pu gagner cette nomination. Je veux que le Camerounais regarde ce film parce que c'est un caractère intéressant. Je ne sais pas si je peux gagner parce que tous les acteurs dans cette catégorie sont très forts.
God, we had a wonderful viewing committee and they did a wonderful job. Coming to Bamenda too was not easy because we live in Boya, coming here, and it was not that easy, but we thank God the organizational lapses that we had, we tried to manage them and everything is moving on smoothly.
It's been wonderful because they had a good number of films that were viewed and they took time in viewing the movies, and at the end of it all they came out with what we have today.
I want to say the attendance also was very encouraging because I could see lots of filmmakers, actors, producers, directors in the hall, and I must appreciate also the government, the Ministry of Arts and Culture for having their participation here well felt.
We're giving you a rendezvous for the 27th of May in Yaoundé at the Palais de Congrès for the grand soiree of Cameroon Movie Achievement Awards. Thank you very much for being part of this, and we're looking forward to have you as our guest on the 27th of May 2017 at the Palais de Congrès. Thanks very much.
Gosh, don't worry, that's just a foretaste. Actually, that should be like the last part of the nomination ceremony that took place in Bamenda. You're watching the Cameroonian, the cream of what we have in the film industry. Actors, actresses, producers, as well as fans telling you that those who deserve to be recognized have been named. And then we shall definitely know those who carry home the prizes on the 27th of May here in Yaoundé. So keep your ears wide open and your eyes glued to the CRTV. We will be updating you as we move closer to the Cameroon Movie Achievement Award, CAMA 2017. Right now, let's talk about, in a short while, we'll be discovering a personality, a woman, a star, an actress in the movie industry. But stay with us because we'll give you her name after we've had a chat with a guest here in the studio. Reverend Divine Kum Yamba of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon of the Nkolbison, should I say a chapel? Nkolbison Chapel? Good morning. Nkolbison Parish. Good morning, Reverend. Thank you so much for being here with us.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, you're here because the moderator of the PCC is coming for a pastoral visit to Nkolbison. And the first thing I want to ask you is to present to us the Nkolbison people, the parish of Nkolbison. In a few words, what will you say?
In a few words, I would say Nkolbison is a young and very dynamic parish that was created two years ago by then parish pastor of Simeon, the Reverend Masop and Manwe, and Reverend Binda Bolex. It's a very young, dynamic, and growing congregation here in Yaoundé.
Okay. And what are you preparing for the moderator? What is on menu?
Yeah, it is a pleasure for a congregation created just 2.5 years ago to receive the moderator, the chief servant of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon. And so it is our pleasure to receive him. He is coming to exhort the Christians of the Presbyterian Church here in Corbison, not only here in Corbison, the Presbyterian Church here in the east of the Mongo. He's coming equally to encourage us, coming equally to give us a tap at the back for what we have been doing for the past 2.5 years.
Okay. Reverend, I'm tempted to ask you, what is your reading of recent activities in Cameroon as a man of God, and do you have any message, any word that you want to give Cameroonians in general about moving together? We're talking a lot about living together and living together with people with differences, and I'm tempted to ask your opinion about this concept of living together.
Thank you, Pochi. The concept of living together, I would like to draw us Cameroonians to Psalms 133, verse 1, that talks about the blessedness of unity, how good and pleasant it is when God's people dwell together in unity. Okay. So if we keep our differences aside and live together in unity, we'll be blessed by God.
Thank you very much. And a message to your parishioners as they expect to receive the moderator?
Yeah, the moderator is coming for a maiden visit to our parish, and equally is coming to help us to finish the payment of a 4,000 meter square that they bought in Corbison. Okay. And so it is going to be a fundraising. We are calling not only the Christians of Corbison, but all Presbyterian here in Yaoundé should come out and welcome our Father of Faith, the Right Reverend Funky Samuel, okay, who is coming to our congregation. We are calling on the Christians of Corbison to stand up boldly and pick up this challenge, because it is not an easy one. But with God being on our side, we are going to do everything through him who strengthens us.
The invitation is out, and you heard it. I mean, let me extend it, though. It's not only for parishioners of Corbison, but if you're a man of goodwill, a woman of goodwill, and you feel like you want to support that church, you're also invited, isn't it, Pastor?
Of course.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on Hello Cameroon and for choosing to wake up with us, because we're actually waking up the nation at this hour of the day. I wish you a happy day and also a very successful event with the moderator.
A blessed one with you.
All right. As we said, we want you to discover with us a talent in the film industry. She's called Glory Chando. She initially is a teacher. That's what she trained to be. But recently, we saw her in the series Rumble. And most of those who watch her, you'll agree with me that she has a talent in acting. Please, let's discover, or should I say rediscover, Glory Chando. It's the artist on Hello Cameroon. Have a beautiful day.
She is seen as a woman of substance because of the way she carries herself. She is seen as a woman with a lot of class because of the way she delivers when she's on the set. She's ever ready, always on point. And she would stop at nothing. I mean nothing, to make sure the goods are set on the table. You want to know who she is?
I am, like my name goes, Glory. I Munoko Chando before I got married. I'm from a very big family. My father was a polygamist. My mother the second wife. I'm the first from the second wife, the 11th child of my father. And the last child of the first woman is my elder sister. So,
how did you get interested or involved in acting?
When I was in high school, when I did my A-levels, I met with one Zewo Aldrin Banla. He's still in Bamenda. We wrote a movie, rehearsed and shot. Yeah. And many people told me that I could really do it. So I think from then I had it at the back of my mind. I was teaching. From time to time, they used to call me to come and act, and I will come. Like take permission from the school to come. And that's how I've been shooting.
Talk to me a little bit about the different roles that you've had to do.
I've been doing the role of the mother most often. I did the role of a young girl that was for the first movie. That's the Chop Chair, the one we did in Bamenda. After which, I've always been casted as a mother. And God willing, they've always been giving me the lead roles.
Why do you think you've always been casted as a mother?
Maybe because of my size.
Oh, really?
And maybe my personality, I don't know.
Okay. Now, I just want to find out from you, what's your role on Rumble? How did you stumble on it?
Well, I did Bara Extravaganza in Yaoundé. It went on Air Canada. And my present director, Billy Bob, saw me on Bara Extravaganza. And that was how he took down my name for Rumble. Coincidentally, he saw another movie I did, Blind Instincts. He casted me for another role in Rumble. Okay, if you watch Rumble, he casted me for Mrs. Epierre while he saw me in Yaoundé, and then he casted me for Mrs. Williams when he saw me in the other movie. So it was when I came that he realized that he had casted me for two.
Are you married?
Yes, I am.
You're married. Kids, how many?
One.
You have one for now. Now, tell me, how do you put the two together? You're a teacher and you say you teach in Douala, and then you have to come, you're here, you're shooting on the set. Isn't it very demanding?
It is. It is really demanding. I used to face some problems with my director, because I'm talking about the head of the school, because he didn't find it funny that I had to abandon the children to come and shoot for 2-3 days, because most often it's not easy to bring the different casts on a particular site. So it's a lot of sacrifice. I have a passion for movie. It has always been like that. Even before I went to college, I wanted to be 3 things in life. When I grew up, I wanted to be a journalist like you. I wanted to be an actress or a writer.
Okay. Have you written any stories that we've seen on the screens?
I have written. It has been shot,
okay,
and even edited.
Okay.
The Irreversible.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not on air yet.
Okay. Future projects. What's upcoming for Glory?
Well, I moved over to Boya, and I think from now henceforth, I'm going to put things together and see how I'm going to push through with, because I have another movie that I've written. Yeah, but it is not yet edited.
Okay. So what do you want to say to those who are watching right now?
They have to support us in one way or the other. If there are premieres, they should go. If they are launching, they should go. Yeah, and they should really buy Cameroonian movies so they can encourage us.
Do you think the government should do more for Cameroonian cinema?
Oh, yes, I think so.
What can they do?
Well, if they can really consider actors or acting as a major source of living, some kind of a job, then I think it's going to be better, because there is the problem of actors living what they have to do. If you are not really committed, if you are not passionate about it, you will not do it. For instance, like what I used to do, like I have to leave Douala, come here, they call me, you're shooting. I leave Douala, I rush here with my kid, and I even faced my director, because he didn't find it funny, like I earlier said.
Is your husband very okay with you acting? He doesn't think that, especially the role you have on Rumble right now, is pretty hot.
The lecturer's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to use this opportunity to say a very big hello to my husband, because he's been very supportive. The day we were shooting one of those bedroom scenes, he was actually present. Thank God, he saw how it went. But the problem I'm facing, the slight problem I'm facing now is with my in-laws. They don't find it easy. They don't find it funny. Yeah, but for him, he knows, he understands what's really going on. So he doesn't have a problem with that. Okay. Thank God.
You didn't feel edgy getting into bed with another man in front of your husband, even if it was cinema?
No, it is cinema, and we know how all those things happen. So to me, it's no big deal.
Okay. Do you have upcoming projects? Do you have any scripts on your table right now?
There is a film from Ivan Ame that we are going to be shooting anytime from now. I have about 3 upcoming.
So it's a very busy tomorrow for Glory?
I hope so. Mrs. Glory Munukwo Chando Mukake, I am an actress, and I urge you to continue watching Hello on CRTV.
Thank you very much, Glory. And you say it with such glory. I mean, as you did say that you're just what your name says, and I buy that totally. Well, let's take you to, from one discovery to another. Let's go rediscover a part of a city that is just on the outskirts of Yaoundé. It's called Balmayo. We were there some time ago, and one of ours, Annabelle Fossap, decided to talk to some locals and build the story of the town anew to present to you. So here is Balmayo through Annabelle Fossap's eyes.
The town of Balmayo is home to over 7,000 inhabitants. Among this population are people from all over the national territory. Here you will find people from the northwest and southwest regions, as well as other regions. Madame Odilia Big Bang is one of such people.
I've been in Balmayo for about 18 years today. Life in Balmayo is just like, it's normal. Even though I'm English speaking, we try to make up and meet up with the challenges that we find around. I come from the northwest region of Cameroon. Precisely, I'm from two divisions. From the northwest, I'm from Boyo and from Menchum. Tulaima, Mama. For like challenges we have around here is firstly the people around the Beti man around Balmayo likes his dialect. They want to speak that dialect to everybody so that in the market, you have to use it. You cannot do without it in the market. Secondly, the people around, when it comes to quarter life, they see us as strangers, and they think we must have to give them each time they want. Each time they are in need of anything, we have to, because you have come from somewhere and maybe you have settled in their land, and then you have to do some of those things. With that now, what we do is, especially back to the quarter, as I've said, in the quarter we try to accommodate some of the things. We try to accommodate some of the things, especially when it comes to maybe at times you find an old mother who doesn't have something to eat, and then she says she's hungry, and then maybe you give. There is a great number of Anglophones here. And then we have tried to form small groups, small meeting groups, where we try to do some of those things we used to do back there in our own place.
Tell us about life as a teacher here in Balmayo.
No, life as a teacher is easy. We have English-speaking people from the northwest. We have Bansors. Greatest number of people here, they are the Bansors. We have the Bansors here. We have people from Menchum. We also have people from the southwest region. We have people from Lebialem. They also have a strong community here. The majority of them are business people and farmers. Most of us are here with our partners. For example, I'm here with my husband. Though he doesn't work here, he works in the south. But I stay here with my children. I have 6 children here at home. So it's not difficult.
Her male counterpart's story is not so different.
I'm a teacher in GBHS Balmayo. I've been in Balmayo for 7 years now. Life here, it is moderate. It is not too difficult because I find the things that I have in my region here. Like the food stuff. We have corn here, we have vegetables, apart from the hot climate. Moving from Ndu, which is too cold, to Mbamayo, a very hot area. We also have a problem of language at times. Maybe when you want to interact with the indigenous from here. Some speak strictly their language. It is not all that easy because I have children, family members that I've brought from home. At times, you don't even find a vegetable like what we call our normal fufu and jama that we have here. You have to go and buy them from Yaoundé.
So how do you bridge these difficulties?
We've tried to work a small farm, which we plant maize, we plant huckleberry. Sometimes when we don't find it in the market, we harvest from our farms. At least Mbalmayo is nice. In the first place, it is accessible, and for you to move from here to the capital, which is Yaoundé, it is also easy. And
that's Mbalmayo through the eyes of Annabelle Fossa. But it's 7 o'clock and we just had to jump in there because Patricia Leba-Matokson is right here to update you on what's been happening in and around the country in terms of news. Stay with us. Gracious morning and thanks for joining us for the 7 a.m. edition of the news. The last general rehearsals ahead of the 20th May celebration come Saturday will take place today. The last rehearsals will group civilian as well as the military. In just 2 days, Cameroonians will celebrate their 45th National Day with greater focus on synergic actions by the military and the nation to reinforce peace and stability. Ahead of that event on May 20, the military is emitting robust energy with soldiers polishing their hardware and fine-tuning the march past that will be a high point of the event. In Yaoundé, a 3-day exhibition is also on the way to give the public a synoptic view of the might and prowess of various branches of the military. Moiti Waifo Akonja reports.
It is not every day that the public gets a chance to wear military gear, let alone handle a weapon. For 3 days, thousands will be allowed to do just that at the open door days of the military holding at the 101 Air Force Base. From the 17th to the 19th, visitors will get to see the weapons, equipment, arsenal, and wherewithal of Cameroon's army.
We organize to permit the population to discover the knowledge, the image of the armed forces. We wanted also to show that there is a link between the population and the army. And in this link, we have a proximity with the population.
The open door days opened by the Secretary of State for Defense in charge of the National Gendarmerie have thus given the public an insight into the various components of the Army. The Air Force, National Gendarmerie, Field Artillery, Military Engineering, Military Health Services, Anti-Aircraft, Airborne Troops, Armed Battalion, and others.
We want the public to understand what we are doing because everyone asks, they don't understand what we do. They think they want to know what exactly we do to fight against Boko Haram. So we want them to understand what we have done and then what we continue to do there in the far north.
The event, which is holding for the first time over a 3-day period, will culminate in an air show on Friday.
And the upcoming National Day Parade will offer a glimpse of the current modernization of the Army, characterized by improved infrastructure as well as equipment. The Rapid Intervention Battalion in Manawa Bay is an example of the rapid development taking place within the Army. Our reporter Christian Che Atam projects the base and the 21st Regiment of the Military Engineering Corps as proof of the Army's commitment to modernization.
The military base of the Rapid Intervention Battalion in Manawa Bay, Limbe, is a classic example of the rapid development of infrastructure and equipment which the Army has engaged in over the past decade. The base is today an ultra-modern unit with the best infrastructure and state-of-the-art military hardware and technology. The training center permits opportunities for a professional training of new recruits in the base and at the same time allows for the easy tracking of criminal activities along the Cameroon coastline. The helicopter unit and the garage of the base provide huge possibilities for airborne transport and defense, but also for an autonomous maintenance of the fleet of vehicles of the base. The Rapid Intervention Battalion's military base in Manowo Bay, Limbe, is a perfect example that the Army is engaged resolutely in a move towards modernization. Once a small and perhaps insignificant base, it has slowly been developed into a military stronghold, capable of playing an active role in the defense of Cameroon's territories in both air, land, and sea. The same rapid improvement in the stock of equipment is noticed at the 21st Regiment of the Military Engineering Corps in Douala. The Corps has, over the past 5 years, seen its operational capacity more than doubled. Today, the Military Engineering Corps has won contracts to construct major roads in Cameroon, such as the road from Mora to Kusiri.
And the Cameroonian Navy has acquired a new high-performance ship. The vessel, known as Cameroon Navy Ship CNS Picard, was commissioned yesterday in Douala by the Navy Chief of Staff, Rear Admiral Jean Mendoua. During the ceremony, about 4 other ships on a diplomatic cruise to some countries in the Central African sub-region were also inaugurated. Alphonse Abongwa reports.
The new high-sea vessel, received and commissioned this Monday, is another material evidence of Cameroon's Navy might in the Central African sub-region in general and the Gulf of Guinea in particular. According to Navy Captain Nzanam Vondo Christophe, the equipment has high endurance capacity with 21st century arsenals that can endure high sea rescue and patrol operations. During the twin ceremony presided over by Navy Chief of Staff Rear Admiral Jean Mendoua, personal representative of the Minister Delegate at the Presidency in charge of Defense, all military honors were duly observed. 4 Navy ships were also deployed on a diplomatic cruise to 4 countries within the sub-region. The first is heading to Calabar, Nigeria, the next to Pointe-Noire in the Congo. The other 2 are heading to Malabo, Equatorial Guinea and Libreville, Gabon. Before takeoff, Sawa chiefs also poured libation and showered their blessings upon the new vessels for a fruitful operation.
Software developers have held the first international forum on digital economy in Yaoundé as a veritable platform to advance their work. Diane Gassa in the following report attended a closing ceremony and brought back the details.
This is what the first ever digital economy village looks like at the end of their 3-day meeting in Yaoundé. These young Cameroonians who have decided to venture in this new yet booming form of doing business admit to have acquired quite much in just a few days.
What we have learned is that the youth have many things to show to the development and the emergency of Cameroon. And I think that if the government take care or pay attention of what we have to share, everything be all right.
These startups, who often work in solo, did not always have the opportunity to know what their peers were up to, and this forum has been an eye-opener.
I've seen that there is a lot of competition in this field. You know, you see the same people having the same ideas, but they have different ways to get there. So I believe that if you don't work hard after living here, your project is definitely going to die.
3 days of selling their ideas and projects to the world was just the best opportunity to get more business contacts.
We have met many partners who can help us to develop our agency and to have a big address book.
They, however, hope all the promises made will eventually come to fruition.
Many people came to visit us, and I think that at the end, if they keep the promise that they have done to us, many things will be correct.
With more of such platforms, these startups are quite optimistic about the bright future of digital economy in the country.
And we take you over to the Northwest region, where the Minister of Public Works has cautioned the people to act against acts that could disrupt the construction of the ring road. Mr. Emmanuel Ngano Jumesi appealed for the cooperation of the local population to carry out the work shortly after a visit to the ring road in Bamenda yesterday. Luma Slim Davis.
The construction of the ring road has been an issue of discord over the years and has given room for all sorts of interpretations. The 50.5-kilometer road, with the first lot stretching from Dop to Kumbo, is of high economic importance to the northwest region.
And this ring road will be a part of our lending program for the next coming months. It is a long road.
The challenge is to achieve this project in the 24 months. The existing road is in a very bad condition. So we are going to rehabilitate this road. That means that we are going to redo the earthworks and reinforce all the structure of the road with crushed stone, sub-base, with bituminous base course, and of course the last course, which is the pavement with asphalt.
The scope of works already under execution of the ring road include the construction of a 7-meter wide carriageway with 2 1-meter shoulders each, including a base course, a foundation course, and a wearing course.
We are all of us concerned with the construction of routes. It doesn't concern only those living in the Northwest region. It concerns those who come in to visit cities in this particular area.
The road will be constructed by Sojea Satom for the cost of over 41,141 million CFA francs, inclusive of taxes, with financing of the Ministry of Public Works Public Investment Budget.
We take the rendezvous tomorrow, 7 a.m. Indeed, thank you so much, Patricia Leba-Mutokson, for once more being there for us. And for you and I, it's Tuesday next week, isn't it? To make sure that I get a smile from you when I see you next time, though. There's no red today, but there's a green and there's a yellow. It look like oranges. Oranges, yeah. I'm not going to throw it, so don't worry. Yeah, with all my love. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you.
I'll see you on Tuesday.
With the same pleasure.
Yep, with the same pleasure indeed. But I won't let you go like that. There is a song. The title is Thank You, Lord.
Okay.
It's the artist Loco. He did this song after his accident. And I'm assuming that is his thank you to God for all the blessings. And we are sharing in that moment of thank you, Lord. That's what we decided to bring you this song. But it's a beautiful song. So beyond thanking God, just go as well to enjoy the song. Sour Boy, Loco.
Thank you, Lord, oh, everything where I get now a blessing. I wanna see my mama proud in God, oh, someday I cannot stop. Thank you, Lord, oh, everything where I get now a blessing. I wanna see my mama proud in God, I do someday. Cannot stop. Moulin, j'ignore pas la nuit. Dehors pour chercher le buisson. Ils diront femme là et diront oui, je crois. À genoux devant le Christ. Man, j'avance avec ceux qui veulent bien me suivre. J'ai failli bête, j'ai pas le temps, il faut que je puisse. Nasib and Talambo. Each I want more. Rock and roll. I wanna get on the stage, set the roof on fire, and sing for my pretty girl. I want more. Rock and roll. I wanna get on the stage, set the roof on fire, and sing for my pretty girls. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Lord, oh, everything where I get now a blessing. I wanna see my mama proud in God, oh, someday I cannot stop. Thank you, Lord, oh, everything where I get now a blessing. I wanna see my mama proud in God, oh, someday I cannot stop. Don't play with us, Lord. Don't play with us, Lord. No. Don't play with us, Lord. Don't play with us, Lord. No. Don't play with us, Lord. 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 No. Oh Lord, oh Lord. Je prie pour ceux qui me targetent, tapis dans l'ombre. The wrongs that I've done, sorry. For the wrongs that I've done, sorry. Yeah, they want me to be Gandhi. I cannot be none but me. Thank you, Lord, oh, everything where I get now a blessing. I wanna see my mama bright in God, oh, someday I cannot stop. Thank you, Lord, oh, everything where I get now a blessing. I wanna see my mama bright in God, oh, someday I cannot stop. Don't play with us, Lord. Don't play with us, Lord. No. Don't play with us, Lord. Don't play with us, Lord. No. Don't play with us, Lord. Don't play with us, Lord. No. Don't play with us, Lord. Don't play with us, Lord. No. S'ils pensent qu'on s'arrêtera là, ils se sont trompés. Une villa pour la maman, telle est la visée. La visée, la visée. La somaloba. Tell them they need to know. I get this feeling in my heart, oh. I put this feeling on the beat and my people go crazy. I get this feeling in my heart, oh. I get this feeling that my dreams can come true, yeah, yeah. I get this feeling in my heart, oh. I put this feeling on the beat and my people go crazy. I get this feeling in my heart, oh. I get this feeling that my dream can come true, yeah, yeah. Thank you, Lord, oh. Everything where I get now a blessing. I wanna see my mama. Don't play with us, Lord. No, no.
And he got up from bed. Well, you missed it. We were having such a blast here in the studio with a gentleman who's joined me, and in a while he'll be giving you the headlines. But before that, though, good morning, Bodin. How are you?
Good morning, Pochi. I'm fine, thank you.
All right. Before we engage into the headlines of today, in a short, after Bodin, we'll be talking about health. And today in health, we're talking to Dr. Kuwong Patrick, who is telling us about prostate cancer. If that's something you want to know more about, please, I invite you to stay on with us. In a short while, we'll be talking to Dr. Kuwong Patrick. But, Bodin Summer, you've been reading the newspapers, and I see you with the Weekend.
Yeah, Weekend magazine. That's why Patricia Leba has not left. That's why she's still around.
She wants to know what is happening where this weekend. Patricia, you're a good girl. You know how to keep your rendezvous. But before we get to what is happening where in this country, what are the other headlines that you have?
We have many stories that do animate or run through our different newspapers this Thursday morning, May 18, 2017. We begin with Cameroon Tribune newspaper. We are 2 days away from the 45th edition of National Day come Saturday, and the emphasis is laid on the army, the defense forces we have in Cameroon. And in this edition of Cameroon Tribune newspaper, it talks about opportunities when the army seduces many young Cameroonians, with the first edition of its open door days that are ongoing at the 101 Air Force Base here in Yaoundé. It is an opportunity for the defense forces to attract many Cameroonians, especially the younger ones, exposing or selling what the army has to offer as far as opportunities in Cameroon are concerned, with different Cameroonians who have not yet had the opportunity to join the defense forces to know more and know the advantages of being part of the defense forces in Cameroon. This edition of Cameroon Tribune News was interviews for some key officials of Cameroon's defense forces who go a long way to explain the key role the defense forces play as far as national unity is concerned in Cameroon. Read that story by getting a copy of today's edition of Cameroon Tribune newspaper. We stay with this edition of Alone Bilingual Daily to talk about reproductive health in Cameroon, saying that Cameroon reinforces its capacities as far as reproductive health is concerned. A convention has been signed between Crasset and the American Hospital in Paris, as well as the Association for Female Reproductive Health in Africa, which will go a long way to enable the Ngusso Hospital to serve as a pole for excellence on the continent as far as reproductive health is concerned. With that story also in today's edition of Cameroon Tribune newspaper. That paper paves the way for us to talk about today's edition of Le Pelican. Le Pelican newspaper takes us to talk about social security at the level of National Social Insurance Fund, CNPS, with the paper lays emphasis on some of the strides made by the Social Insurance Fund to promote social security for workers in Cameroon. Some of these reforms introduced by the Director General for the National Social Insurance Fund, that has been successful and appreciated by many Cameroonians, and also exposes what the National Social Insurance Fund has to offer to different workers in Cameroon in terms of social security. Read that by getting a copy of the latest edition of Le Pelican newspaper. The Guardian Post newspaper explains to us this morning that the Social Democratic Front, the nation's leading opposition political party, denies having any secret deals with the present regime. The paper goes further to with interviews of some key officials of the Social Democratic Front reacting contrary to persistent rumors alleging that the Social Democratic Front has secret deals with the present regime and the benefit from this regime. They have denied all these rumors and keep on insisting on the stance as far as this country is concerned. Read that story in this edition of the Guardian Post newspaper. The L'Essentiel newspaper takes us to talk about National Day, National Unity for the year 2017, the heritage and history of national unity. Cameroonians happily living together as Cameroon, one and indivisible country. Get to know more about national unity that Cameroonians will proudly celebrate on Saturday, May 20 this year, 2017, as the latest edition of L'Anecdote newspaper takes us to talk about the untold stories about reunification in Cameroon. Why are we celebrating National Day and National Unity come May 20 every year? Get to know the essence of or the untold stories about how the two Cameroons became one, the reunification of West and East Cameroon, in this edition of L'Anecdote newspaper. And Mutation newspaper this morning talks about sports and lays emphasis on football, explaining to us the key role influence peddling has as far as the choice of players called to camp the national football team of Cameroon is concerned. The paper explains to us that the head coach, Hugo Bros, has published a list of 37 players called to camp to prepare for the international qualifying match for the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations against Morocco to be played on the 10th of June here in Yaoundé, and for the 2017 Confederations Cup. On the list of players conspicuously present are newcomers and some key players who were present in Gabon, but unfortunately whose names are not on the list of players called to come by head coach Hugo Bros. And what has influence peddling had to do as far as the final list of players called to come in the national football team of Cameroon is concerned? Read that in this edition of Mutation newspaper. We end with the latest edition of Weekend Magazine. Weekend Magazine, as usually, makes available for you opportunities as to how you can spend a lovely and enjoyable weekend wherever you find yourself, given that it's going to be an enjoyable weekend indeed, celebrating National Day and Unity in Cameroon. This edition of Weekend Magazine profiles this group of young, talented Cameroonian artists, ex-Malia, and their ongoing campus tour, visiting the different campuses of our state-owned universities with different concerts. It profiles Roger Auguste Ice in this edition of Weekend Magazine. That also takes you to discover Ngulimakong, this locality where cassava happens to be, the production of cassava happens to be the watchword for inhabitants of Ngulimakong. It takes you to have an idea as to which are some of the important appointments you must not miss wherever you find yourself, either in Yaoundé, Douala, Boya, or in the far north region this weekend, to feel like a Cameroonian, since we are celebrating national unity. And it also talks about the symbolic Yaoundé, some symbolic Yaoundé monuments. They tell the history of Cameroon. The Reunification Monument, for example, Place of Independence, and their surrounding sculptures don't only beautify the city of Yaoundé, but also cover Cameroon's history of the yesteryears. Weekend Magazine costs just 500 francs.
And the newspapers tend to cost just 400 francs, so it's not so much, is it?
It's very, very cheap. You spare a bottle of beer and you buy a newspaper, you read and get to know more.
Okay, can you borrow me a copy though, so I can...
Hope you won't, hope you won't fight with Patricia
There
Leber.
is a big no that came from Patricia Leber. We're still sitting around. The reason I was asking that is you need to have your copy of Weekend Magazine to keep a close tab on what is happening where, so that you can, grab some fun. Life is about fun as well. Beyond working and beyond getting some meaning, get some fun. Board in summer.
Since you need one, Patricia needs one.
You want to
I have just a copy.
You do like Solomon. You do like King Solomon in the Bible. If you're going to do like him, I'll give up. Like, please don't tear the baby.
Thank you very much for understanding.
Don't tear the baby. But Baldwin, see you on Tuesday.
God willing.
But before that, between that, have a beautiful weekend in between.
Thank you so much, and a better one for you.
I should also say happy 20th of May.
Happy 20th of May. I'm happy Cameroonian. Hope you are also.
Yes, 20th of May is a day that I take as a day to reflect on being a Cameroonian and to think of all those questions that keep coming up. And that's what Cameroon, belonging to a nation, is about. It's about facing the realities, squarely. So 20th of May is an opportunity to look at some of those realities. For me, though, I don't know about you, but have a beautiful day on that day. Baldwin, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm going to send you off with, it's not like it really concerns you, but we're talking about prostate cancer. And it concerns men, of course. This is Dr. Kuong Patrick, who is in Douala, who accepted to answer some of our questions about prostate cancer so that you watching us out there can know some of the things that should worry you and how you should behave if you get worried about anything concerning your health. Please just enjoy.
The symptoms of prostate cancer, you see a middle-aged or an elderly patient who might find it difficult to urinate and gets up too often and doesn't empty his bladder properly, and might sometimes have blood in his urine, and it might actually sometimes be unable to urinate and might need a catheter. So prostate cancer might be one of the causes of that problem, of those problems I've just described, those complaints. It's quite a common disease amongst Africans, Cameroonians, although the benign disease, which is called benign prostatic hypertrophy, it's commoner. But because of the high incidence of prostate cancer in the black population, it's quite a common problem. Physical examination, especially a rectal examination, will help us distinguish between benign disease, which is called benign prostatic hypertrophy, and cancer. By the time a doctor or myself inserts his finger in the rectum, his gloved finger of course, the nature of the prostate will let us know whether it's cancer, or you have an idea whether it could be cancer. But you need further tests to confirm the diagnosis of prostate cancer. The incidence of prostate cancer in parents who have had prostate cancer is high, but it's not direct. It's not a direct. It's not automatic. But if your father has had prostate cancer, or any of your uncles, you have a higher incidence of developing. There's a higher probability that you can develop prostate cancer. Having a moderate life, drinking lots and lots of water, eating lots and lots of vegetables, carrying out a lot of physical activity and sports, all these factors will help prevent prostate cancer. Prostate cancer is one of the kindest cancers you can think of. It suffices for you to make a diagnosis in time, and then treatment is available. Unfortunately, quite a handful of our patients come a bit late, but even those patients who are seen a bit late, if you make their lives comfortable by using urinary catheters or carrying out minor procedures to make sure that they can void properly, treat all infections, and put them on anti-androgens. There's a treatment which you can give, which can maintain the patient. I have lots of patients who have lived for more than 10 years with prostate cancer. I actually have one who has lived for 12 years following treatment. So I usually encourage all my patients to have hope and keep their appointments, do their PSA count value regularly, and take their medication, and most patients actually do well. Prostate cancer is very common amongst Africans and people of African descent. Even in the United States of America, the incidence of prostate cancer in the African American population is very high. Followed by those in Asia, and then the least they are the Europeans. So for some reason or other, research is still being carried out to find out exactly why it's so common amongst people of black descent. It could be genetic. Anybody who has had a relative, an uncle or a father who has had prostate cancer, it is good to check your PSA, prostate specific antigen level, at least once a year from the age of 40. But for the other who are not exposed, it should be from the age of 50, once a year. All males of African descent, Cameroonians, should check their PSA once a year. Most patients should be able to tolerate a rectal examination. Once you have a gloved finger and you lubricate your finger, it is not that, it's uncomfortable but not painful. So I'll encourage people to go for that rectal examination. Digital rectal examination is very important because it helps you diagnose make a difference between benign prostatic disease and prostate cancer.
So you hear the doctor himself encouraging you to go for a test if you have any worry on your mind. And thank you so much, Dr. Patrick Kuwong. We'll be having other moments with him in the course of Hello Cameroon. So stay with us so that we get the best from Dr. Patrick Kuwong about our health, all of us. Now let's have a chat in the studio with two persons who have come. So we'll continue talking about civil society. A while ago, we were talking to Ayunui, who said he's working to encourage the planting of trees to save the habitat and the food of animals. We're talking about animal care, but we're still remaining in the environment to talk about music and environment. This is something I'd like you to stay with us so we discover with Mbunya Francis. Good morning, sir. Thank you for coming on Hello Cameroon.
Good morning.
All right. And Regina Fonja-Leke. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you.
Thank you for coming to the program today.
Yeah.
Both of you are from the Resource Center for Environment and Sustainable Development. It's a civil society organization. I'll start with you, Bunya Francis. Situate us. What exactly do you do? I do understand it has to do with the environment, but clearly, what do you do?
The Resource Center for Environment and Sustainable Development is a non-profit organization. We're based in Boyer, precisely. Our main mission is to promote sustainable initiatives, especially by engaging youth to proactively participate in development activity. We're specifically interested in environmental production and development intervention. And one of the initiatives that actually motivated us to come up with this organization was from the fact that many youth leave the university and they said there is nothing to do. So we're thinking, what can we actually do to make sure that youth become change maker and not just waiting for the government to give them something to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it seems like you caught them right in something that grabs them, music. And in Boya, maybe you comment on that, Regina. It looks like Boya is a city of stars. So you are based in Boya and you're using music now to talk about environment.
Exactly, Pochi. You know, Shakespeare once said that fear he who is not moved by music.
Absolutely.
Now, we understand that people love music, and we have had several seminars, workshops to talk about environmental protection. We look at our environment is degrading. We have problems like deforestation, climate change, and we came up with this concept because we thought that by using music, which is something somebody can fall in love with, we can be able to promote positive environmental behavior. And of course, you said Boya is like a hub for stars, and we try to not just do music, but do music that can impact lifestyles, that can transform a mindset. Yeah.
Tell me about the messages that you're trying to pass through this project. What is the point you're making?
No, actually, like I said, we just want to pass across a message on environmental protection. We want everyday Cameroonians to understand that the problems we are having in our environment, most of them are caused by our actions. We look at something like the cutting down of trees, which is accelerating global warming. We look at even something like waste disposal. We have this habit of just throwing things out of the taxis anyhow, you know. We have also the unsustainable management of our resources. I take, for example, if you are in your home and you're not using the light, maybe you want to switch it off because we need energy to be able to produce electricity. Yeah. So we are trying to use music to pass across this message that we must, the solution to environmental problems lies with us. We have caused these problems. We can be a part of the solution. So we want the contestants to be able to pass such simple messages, because most often people just think that environmental protection is about the government, the civil society. It's about you and I. What are actions that are helping to degrade our environment, and what can we do to stop this? So we are hoping that the artists that are going to be taking part in this competition are going to, pass across this message, and the public is going to, hit to it.
Let me ask, do you already have a place and a time for this musical event, or you're still in planning?
Yeah, Music for the Environment is not Cameroon. It's a competition that is encouraging youth between the age of 15 and 35 to write a piece or a song about music. Registration is currently going on at www.cameroon.org, and registration will end on the 25th of this month. And we are going to select 50 people all across Cameroon to participate in a public audition that will be on the 1st of July. And subsequently, there will be a boot camp, a summer camp to train those who have been selected, the finalists. And the champion, which will be the winner, will have a grand concert somewhere around October. And the first winner will go home with 1.5 million francs. And the second contestant will go home with 1 million francs. And more to that, the first contestant will be named as the Ambassador for Music for the Environment. It's actually a new concept that has been promoted by the Ministry of Environment and Nature Protection and the Ministry of Culture. So it's actually something that we're working in collaboration with them to actually paint Cameroon green.
How easy is it to pass a message about the environment? Let me turn to you, Regina. How do people respond to you?
Yes, I think that...
Because you go telling them to not throw things out of the window, whereas we do that all the time. Yes. You tell them, you tell them things
I think that it has been pretty difficult because of the approach. Yeah. It has mostly been like protection of the environment is for the elite class, but it's not like that. We are taking it to the grass. So that's why we want to use songs, because we believe that if somebody composes a nice song about the environment, maybe you're in a taxi and you're listening to that song, you're about to throw a piece of banana peeling out, maybe for some reason you would like it will work on you. So that's why we are bringing in this this new approach to educate people, to raise awareness.
What I see regularly when I travel, I see people go to the cash machines and they pull out the receipts. First of all, it's not obligatory that you pull out the receipt. It's an option. But if you choose to pull out the receipt, after you've read it, you can as well. There's always a dustbin. Yeah. But many people just drop it on the floor. Some people just squeeze it and throw as they are going. Or if you eat something like banana, and you know how I have bananas here, by the way. Would you like to have some bananas at some point? So if you eat something like banana, and you know how it's slippery, the peeling of banana is, the next thing I see, people just dump them as they go along. And somebody can just walk on it and find himself or herself on the floor. So habits are hard to change. Are you preaching in the desert, or you are sure that you can bring some people to stop doing these things that we see almost on everyday basis?
Okay, we've been very optimistic about this approach.
Yes.
The first thing is we have more than 100 people now registered with their track, which we were thinking is going to be a difficult job, but people are coming up with their songs, and every day we're receiving several calls. How can I participate? Can 2 or more people participate in it? And just by trying to even compose the music, you're looking for information about the environment. You're looking for how you can be a winner. So that is already a positive change that people are trying to investigate more. But what is it about the environment that they will place such a prize for a first winner and such motivation about it? So we're already making an impact just by getting people to register. And we think that in the second phase, where the media will be involved and people will be voting online, more people will get encouraged and they will want to find out more. And we believe a lot of life will be changed by the concept of music in the environment.
Regina,
and just to add that we are accepting music songs both in French and English, and from all genres of music, which means that if maybe hip-hop does not appeal to one person, maybe R&B,
maybe reggae,
exactly,
maybe makossa.
Yes, so there is this variety, and just like he said, there are already many people who have demonstrated their interest. With the number of applications we have received, I think we are very optimistic.
What's the way forward after you name the winners? What is the next step for your organization?
Well, the next step is that we are going to be doing like a media tour. We will be visiting some local and national radio and TV stations to present him. And I think being an ambassador for the environment will also be some form of inspiration to other young people, that young people who are going to be looking up to the winner, who are going to want to be like him. And this is just the first edition. We are going to have another edition next year.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to that one too.
Yeah, so there is so much coming, and we are really optimistic about the results.
Thank you very much, Regina Fodia-Leke. Before you two walk out of here, though, I'm going to ask Sabunia Francis for a last word, a message, anything to our public about the environment.
Yeah, the environment is very precious. We can't live without protecting the environment, and we encourage every youth, every person to be engaged in one way or the other. And specifically for the Resource Center for Environment and Sustainable Development, it's a place where we welcome youths that feel they don't have anything to do. You just need to come there. You want to volunteer. You meet other active youth that are collaborating in the process, that are brainstorming to come up with brilliant idea like music for the environment. And this idea is sponsored by the United Nations Environmental Program, which means that it is actually recognized, and they are willing to promote the ideas in the subsequent year. So it's not the only thing that the Resource Center for Environment and Sustainable Development does. We do things in the area of how you can contribute to women and development, how they can contribute to entrepreneurship. So it's a whole big package for youth to actually get involved, to contribute in any little way they can in the community they find themselves.
Thank you very much, Francis and Regina, for coming on Hello Cameroon. I wish you a beautiful day and an enjoyable trip back to Boya.
Thank you.
And I'll be looking forward to updates on what you're doing and who is the winner.
Subsequently,
we will be happy to receive you. This is the time of the day when people look at their watches as they are preparing to step out in case you're going to work. And it's also the time of the day when we give you a forecast of the weather. What is your outside looking like? If you're in Yaoundé, it's not been raining this morning. It was the case yesterday. It was huge. But today it's calm. Maybe it will rain later. Who knows? But maybe we'll find out in our weather forecast. Stay with us. So the sun begins to set tonight or this evening at 6:19 p.m. And stay with Hello Cameroon and Bonjour le Cameroon. So we'll keep giving you that kind of information that should help you know how early, how late you should be jumping back to your home if you're out of home. Let's go to Marwa to talk about national integration. Our colleagues up there have been talking to people who come from down south but who have made home where their heart is, and it happens that their heart so far is in Marwa. Just stay with us. Let's enjoy the trip.
Cameroon has severally been hailed for holding on to its unity despite its cultural diversity. According to President Paul Biya, this specificity of the country is thanks to continuous efforts at making its citizens feel at home wherever they find themselves in the country. Over the years, the government has put in enormous efforts in various domains, all in a bid to promote integration. National integration is a reality in Cameroon, seen through many aspects of national life. The marriage of two people from different cultures and linguistic backgrounds is a reality. Women, in their majority, search to consolidate this reality despite differences in cultures and languages. A fact that has been buttressed by the presence of a good number of women from the different regions of the country who have fully integrated in Cameroon's far north region with well-established businesses.
My name's Mrs. Nge Foncha Yvonne. I'm from the northwest region, Cameroon. Precisely Dongamanto. I've been here for 23 years and I came here with my husband. I decided not to stay at home doing nothing, not only taking care of my children. I decided just to have something because when I came here in the far north region, there were no salon. And I decided just to open something where I can earn a bit of my living. When my husband goes out, I also come here, spend some time before going back home. When I came, I wanted just to observe the place before starting the business. This business has been existing for 20 years. Well, with the business, at first it was moving. At first we can walk. At first there were a lot of customers. Now with this issue of Boko Haram, it's difficult for us to have customers. It is difficult for us when you close at 6 o'clock in the evening. You cannot attend to so many people because in the night, at first, we used to work till 12 o'clock midnight.
Though hundreds of miles away from the northwest, Mrs. Foncha is not only doing great in business, she also sees Marwa as home.
I feel fine. You know, with business, business is up and down. We have obstacles in business. But I feel at home being here in the far north region.
To her customers, they feel welcome whenever they visit her salon.
When I do my hair here, I really feel comfortable with it and satisfied. And the way they welcome customer really amazes me too. When I leave the salon, many people appreciate my hairstyle and they ask me, where do you do your hair? So I'm really impressed with the salon. Anytime I came here to do my hair, I'm very comfortable with it.
Apart from her hairdressing business, she equally deals in fashion.
With this, my salon, I don't only do hairdressing. I sell dresses. Why? Because I realize that when my customers come to do their hair, sometimes they are in need of dresses for their children, for themselves, shoes, handbags. Then I decided that when I don't have customers, I can sell some of the dresses. Then I go to Douala, I buy my dresses from there. Then when I come here, I sell it. And it entertains so much my customers not to be going to the market all the time. They buy here with me in my salon.
A few meters away from my shop is this other woman who valorizes cooking and whose exploit in the act has won the hearts of many, especially when it comes to some traditional dishes from the southern parts of the country, which are hard to find up here in the far north region.
My name is Ma Karin, known by Ma Karin, but my real name is Nakurina. Then I'm from Bamenda, precise from Ndop.
So, what brought you to the far north region?
Well, it's my aunt, the junior sister of my father. She was here before 1995. Then I came to Marwa as 1997. Yes, by my aunt, partner aunt. So she was doing business, the very business that I'm doing. So I was in the village lonely, doing nothing, a mother of 4 kids. So I came to Marwa when I was 21 years old.
Not only has Makarine integrated herself in the community she finds herself in, where she now speaks the widely spoken Fulfulde language, she equally goes about her business, respecting the religious and cultural heritage of her host community.
What I am best with Muslims, that they don't like beer. So they say when you go to season, eat what the season eats or do what the seasons do. That is why I want to buy with them. I decided to cook this type of my food, that my southwest food and my northwest food, is because when I came to Marwa, I take note that there are no people that there are not enough people that are cooking the type of food that Sudis will like, and most of that they know this have entered inside the food of our own food more than us, because they travel also as we are traveling. We all change. When they go there, they eat our own food. They think that it is good, and even their own here also. I myself I always eat it to show to them that the food is the same food that we are cooking.
Her customers did not hide their admiration on the manner in which Makarine prepares her dishes and the different types of delicacies she offers.
Anything I want to eat, I saw here like arrow, yams, and okra soup, bitter leaf, all the areas where I come here, I see to eat it. And the mother who is cooking here, and cut away the mother who is cooking here, the food is so good.
With each of these women having lived in the far north region for over 2 decades, they see themselves as part and parcel of these people of the Sudano-Sahelian heritage. Though from the northwest region, the far north is now home to these women who, even with little education, continue to climb the social ladder with what they know how to do best.
Indeed, you can only climb what you know how to do best, and that's the way of encouraging you wherever you are to, go into what makes you happy and what makes you in peace with your inner self. If it's cooking to sell, cook well and sell. You'll see how you'll achieve. This is the time when we'll give you a clip. We want to give you a video clip that is Ambe with a featuring from Daphne. And I've been meant to say that the title is Better Boyfriend. Let's just enjoy. Let's just enjoy this together.
Did you come on the beat? I'm ready, sing. Daphne. Plenty boys don't lie. They didn't love you truly. When I look inside your eyes, you've been hurt so deeply. Hey. If I say I go love you better, hey. You go say I delight to you. Hey. Carry no fee pass water. Hey. Baby girl, I know feed like to you. You want a better boyfriend, baby, let me be a better boyfriend. Said you want a better boyfriend, man a better boyfriend. Said you want a better boyfriend, baby, let me be a better boyfriend. Said you want a better boyfriend, man a better boyfriend. Boy, you're the finest, the other bad man them be liars. Show me you are better than, show me you are better than them. Moves I was just a player. He took my heart and he left me alone. Then he got me spending my money. Then it's one at my life. Baby boy, even though you so fly, you gotta promise me. You say you never about us. You're the only one I can trust. Among all the girls, now me be boss. Another man no go ever see my body. I want a better boyfriend. Baby, let me be a better boyfriend. Cause I want a better boyfriend. Said you want a better boyfriend. Baby, let me be a better boyfriend. Said you want a better boyfriend. Man, a better boyfriend. Ah, hey. If I say I go love you better. Ah, hey. You go say I delight to you. Ah, hey. Carry no feet pass water. Ah, hey. Baby girl, I no feel like to you.
You say you no go ever lie about us. You're the only one I can trust. Among all the girls, now me be boss. Another man no go ever see my body. I want a better boyfriend.
Baby, let me be a better boyfriend.
Cause I want a better boyfriend.
Man, a better boyfriend.
I say cause I want a better boyfriend.
Baby, let me be a better boyfriend.
Cause I want a better boyfriend.
Man, a better boyfriend.
Better Boyfriend, that's a song by Ambe featuring a great lady with a great voice. Daphne, they call her. She's actually one of the rising stars of the moment, and you want to keep that name close to your heart because she has only great songs out there, and there are many more coming. Well, in a short while, we'll be getting into the news. Marie-Laurence K is right here for the news in the French language. But maybe I should let you know that in the last hour of the program, we'll be talking to two persons who are in the culture industry. We'll be talking to a group of musicians who are doing gospel, H1, that's how you call it, and we'll also be discovering a comedian who's reached the final phase of an international competition in Nigeria. They call him senior pastor of the Laughing or the Laugh Ministry. He's right here, and we'll be talking to him in the later part of the program. But this is the moment I say hello to Marie-Laurence K. Bonjour.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right, so thank you. It's 8 o'clock, and it's the time when we go into the newsroom.
Un joyau immobilier à Douala. La cité des cinquantenaires s'impose.
Très bientôt, cet ouvrage sera visible.
Le futur de la ville de Douala, à la rue Ndjonjo, ancienne cité des douanes.
C'est cette grande réalisation qu'a voulu le chef de l'État pour la ville de Douala.
Un complexe ultra-moderne bâti sur 2 hectares, des appartements, un centre commercial, des bureaux. Attention, ceci est un projet gouvernemental. Contactez la SAD au 289 rue Koloko Bonapriso, Douala.
Madame, Monsieur, bonjour et bienvenue aux 8h sur la CATV. Fête nationale, c'est aujourd'hui la répétition générale du défilé. Un aperçu grandeur nature sera offert au public de Yaoundé avant la grande parade officielle qui sera samedi prochain. Militaires et civils vont passer devant la tribune officielle. Question d'affiner leurs pas. Des séances de dépistage gratuit des cancers du col de l'utérus et du sein sont organisées au Centre hospitalier de recherche et d'application en chirurgie endoscopique et reproduction humaine, c'est ici à Yaoundé. Et ce sera dès 9h et sont concernées les femmes et les jeunes filles en âge de procréer. Je vous parlais de la fête nationale. La base aérienne 101 de Vannes continue d'accueillir aujourd'hui le public dans le cadre des journées portes ouvertes de la Défense organisées en prélude à la fête nationale. Et à cette occasion, tous les métiers des armées se montrent. Le secrétaire d'État à la Défense en charge de la gendarmerie nationale, Jean-Baptiste Bocam, a exalté la noblesse de servir sous le drapeau. Pour plus de détails, suivons ce reportage de Séverin Alégambéli.
On apprend beaucoup sur le volume d'activité de nos forces de défense et de sécurité en parcourant l'étendue du site abritant les journées portes ouvertes du ministère de la Défense. Le maniement des équipements techniques, des outils de combat, des offres de formation alléchantes sont proposées aux visiteurs et surtout, au public jeune censé s'intéresser au métier des armes.
Avec le phénomène de coupage de route de Boko Haram, nous avons profité de cette occasion que l'armée camerounaise nous offre d'amener les enfants pour qu'ils soient informés, qu'ils voient comment ça se passe.
Dans tous les compartiments, l'armée de l'air, l'armée de terre, la gendarmerie, les sapeurs-pompiers, les anciens combattants, les forces spéciales donnent un ensemble d'informations utiles qui jouent favorablement sur l'image et l'influence de l'armée camerounaise.
Nous sommes engagés dans plusieurs théâtres d'opération. On participe à la mission Émergence 4 et à la mission Force multinationale mixte. Donc aujourd'hui, nous sommes venus présenter ce qu'on fait dans nos différentes missions.
Nous sommes le seul bataillon qui à la fois agit dans les airs, sur la terre et sur l'eau. C'est une fierté que nous avons.
Derrière cette activité intense de communication étalée sur 3 jours à la base aérienne 101, le ministère de la Défense se donne les moyens de présenter subtilement les dividendes de la réforme de l'armée amorcée en 2001.
Nous voulons que le public et les populations puissent se rendre compte des efforts louables faits par le chef de l'État, chef des armées, pour moderniser nos armées et la gendarmerie. Nous voulons également, à travers ces journées portes ouvertes, réaffirmer le lien indissoluble armée-nation.
Le lien entre l'armée et la nation est assez évocateur dans notre contexte. Mais pour faire face à l'ennemi commun, les deux entités ont besoin de se connaître au préalable.
Les victoires sur le terrain de l'armée camerounaise ne sont plus à démontrer et aujourd'hui, l'heure est à la modernisation, infrastructure, équipement. Fleurant de cette ambition de modernisation, nous avons le complexe militaire de Limbé que notre reporter Éric Benjamin Lamère a pu visiter. Suivons son reportage.
Voici le complexe militaire des bataillons d'intervention rapide à Manowar-Bay près de Limbé. C'est sans doute la plus belle caserne existante sur le territoire national. Elle est la matérialisation la plus aboutie de l'idée que l'armée camerounaise se fait de sa modernisation. Bâti sur plusieurs hectares, ce complexe militaire est le centre névralgique de cette unité d'élite de nos forces de défense. Ici, le soldat du BIC dispose de tout ce dont il a besoin pour rester concentré sur sa mission. Véritable ville dans la ville, sont groupés en ce lieu un certain nombre d'unités combattantes, à commencer par le groupement d'intervention rapide aéromobile GIRAM. C'est le pôle aérien de cette unité qui dispose d'une flotte conséquente, capable d'intervenir de jour comme de nuit en tout point du territoire. Le centre antiterroriste, l'élite de l'élite, est aussi stationné ici, bien que déployé en permanence sur les différents théâtres d'opération. Les forces de surface du BIR sont également présentes en ces lieux, tout comme le poste de commandement du BIR Côte qui coordonne l'ensemble des bataillons installés tout le long du littoral camerounais de Bakassi à Campo. Mais le passage obligé pour tous les soldats du BIR, tout grade confondus, reste le centre d'instruction qui dispose des structures adéquates pour la formation et le recyclage des commandos d'élite. Tout ceci est soutenu par un important bataillon logistique. Avec son garage central, sont réceptionnés, conditionnés et réparés tous les équipements des BIR. Un grand soin est apporté à l'alimentation du soldat à travers un restaurant et une cuisine de grand standing. De même que la santé du soldat fait l'objet de la plus grande attention. L'activité sportive occupant une place essentielle dans la vie du combattant, le complexe de Manowar-Bay lui offre le choix de pratiquer l'activité physique de son choix. Tout ceci a été réalisé en l'espace de 3 ans sur un site jadis occupé par la base navale de Limbé, le centre d'instruction des fusiliers marins et le centre de conditionnement au combat, où transitaient à l'époque toutes les unités déployées à Bakassi lors du litige frontalier avec le Nigeria.
Une acquisition d'envergure que vient d'effectuer la Marine nationale, c'est le navire de guerre appelé Dipakar qui vient d'être réceptionné à Douala. Ce navire dispose d'un patrouilleur pour les missions de surveillance en haute mer. Et pour plus de détails, suivons notre guide Gilbert Elenzana de CIATV Littoral.
Ce navire est appelé Dipakar. Il a été rénové et réceptionné en février 2017 dernier. Il vient d'être acquis par l'État camerounais pour apporter à la Marine nationale des capacités opérationnelles plus accrues, jamais réalisées par le passé. La double cérémonie de réception, d'admission et de départ à mission de représentation au Gabon, au Nigeria, au Congo et en Guinée équatoriale constitue un symbole fort pour l'armée camerounaise et une montée en puissance de la marine nationale dans ses missions de sûreté et de sécurité de nos espaces maritimes.
Le Dipicard, c'est un bâtiment de guerre. Comme les autres que nous avons déjà, nous sommes fiers de tous nos bateaux. Il a peut-être ceci de particulier qu'il y a de nouveaux équipements qui ont été installés et qui font qu'il peut jouer un rôle un meilleur rôle dans la coordination des opérations au niveau de la marine nationale et même du golfe de Guinée. La marine acquiert un nouveau bateau avant qu'il ne soit admis en service actif. Il doit passer par un certain nombre de procédures techniques, administratives qui débouchent finalement à ce qu'il soit admis, comme le mot l'indique, à servir de façon active dans la marine nationale.
Avant leur départ en mission, les 4 commandants des 10 navires ont reçu le porte-étendard des mains du représentant du ministre de la Défense et la bénédiction des chefs traditionnels Sawa. Le retour au bercail de la délégation camerounaise forte de 5 officiers et de 18 personnels non officiers est prévu le 22 mai prochain.
Parlons à présent du vivre ensemble au Cameroun. La région du Sud-Ouest en est un exemple. Elle regorge plusieurs ethnies et cultures que l'on retrouve dans les autres régions du pays. L'on peut citer la culture Sawa dans le littoral, Batanga dans l'océan, Mbo dans le Mungo, Tchang dans l'ouest et même Eton dans la région du centre. Tous sont frères et vivent dans le même terroir sans la moindre différence. C'est ainsi que le confirme notre envoyé spécial, Rabia Toula.
Ils sont du sud-ouest, on pourrait tout aussi croire qu'ils viennent du littoral. Tronc commun, leur nom, Dipoko, Toto, Ekwala, Ngale, difficile de discerner qui est originaire de l'une ou de l'autre région du Cameroun.
Le couture du littoral, c'est la même couture. Tout le moment, comme il y a fait quelque chose là-bas, il t'a invité les gens des chefs du sud-ouest. Comme on a quelque chose ici, on invite. Dans l'Angundo, tu t'as envoyé le notable, viennent causer, demander la contribution des affaires traditionnelles.
La région du sud-ouest, c'est également les Ballons, les Bakweri, Mbo, Batanga, Bakosi, comme dans les départements du Mungo ou de l'océan.
Lorsqu'un Douala parle, un Bakweri comprend ce qu'il dit. Et vous voyez ici, nous avons le clan Mungo, dont le dialecte ressemble énormément à celui du Douala.
Un tour dans le Lébialem et l'on constate que le peuple alors partage culture, nom, traditions ancestrales avec les Tchans de l'Ouest. Pas surprenant d'entendre par exemple appeler Temfak ou Asson-Lefak d'un côté ou de l'autre. Du reste, 15 kilomètres à peine séparent les deux communautés. Dans la région, brassage et métissage sont légion. Par la culture, par la tradition, ils dévoilent leurs points de ressemblance malgré quelques différences. Les frontières, juste des divisions administratives, finalement.
En santé, le Centre hospitalier de recherche et d'application en chirurgie endoscopique et reproduction humaine Crasser et l'hôpital américain de Paris liés par une convention de partenariat qui a été signée hier. Et à cette occasion, la délégation des experts venus de Paris et même du Cameroun a été reçue par la première dame du Cameroun, Madame Chantal Biya. Des détails, c'est avec Joseph Clément Omba.
Malgré la nuit tombée à la résidence principale du Palais de l'Unité et un agenda fort chargé, la première dame camerounaise, Mme Chantal Biya, tient personnellement à accueillir ses invités spéciaux à leur arrivée. Les experts, une douzaine au total, sont une équipe multidisciplinaire. Des gynécologues, des obstétriciens, anesthésistes réanimateurs, cancérologues, des radiothérapeutes, venus de l'hôpital américain de Paris, mais aussi de Côte d'Ivoire, du Gabon, la République démocratique du Congo, du Cameroun. Marqué par l'implication de Mme Chantal Biya dans la mise en place du Crasser qui s'impose en Afrique comme un centre d'excellence, les experts félicitent la première dame, marraine du Crasser.
D'abord, on l'a félicité du travail accompli parce que c'est un travail admirable qui permet de réaliser ce qu'on a pu faire ce matin, c'est-à-dire la chirurgie mini-invasive en Afrique, la chirurgie endoscopique, et ça c'est grâce à la vision qu'elle a eue. avec Jean-Marie Cassia et puis son obstination, parce que ça n'a pas été une aventure simple. Donc on a repris l'aventure du Crasser et puis on a essayé de jeter des perspectives pour l'avenir.
Au rang des échanges, le partenariat naissant entre le Crasser et l'hôpital américain de Paris.
On va jeter un pont entre la France et le Cameroun, entre le Crasser et l'hôpital américain, avec un partenariat de travail théorique et pratique, puisqu'on viendra opérer 2 fois par an au Cameroun pour montrer nos techniques de chirurgie minimale invasive, mais surtout pour échanger, pour voir quels sont les besoins. Le Crasser est un établissement d'exception, mais il a besoin de rester au niveau et de performer. Et on donnera notre avis de professionnel pour savoir ce qui permettra d'améliorer encore, s'il est possible, les pratiques au sein de cet établissement.
Centre d'excellence, le Crasser doit le demeurer. C'est aussi le vœu de sa marraine, Mme Chantal Biya.
Ça a été un long parcours. Dieu merci, nous sommes arrivés grâce aux efforts du couple présidentiel. Mais pour nous professionnels, nous ne sommes pas encore au bout de nos peines. Nous commençons maintenant le travail et nous attendons, nous voulons être soutenus par toute la population camerounaise.
Demeurer un centre d'excellence, c'est la feuille de route arrêtée par Mme Chantal Biya pour ses experts. La voie de l'excellence est donc tracée entre le Crasser et l'hôpital américain de Paris.
Il faut le rappeler, mesdames et messieurs, des séances de dépistage gratuit des cancers de col, de l'utérus et du sein sont organisées au Crasser. C'est aujourd'hui dès 9h et sont concernés, ce dépistage il est gratuit, sont concernés les femmes et les jeunes filles en âge de procréer. Madame, Monsieur, c'est sur ces nouvelles que s'achève le 8h de ce jeudi. Merci de l'avoir suivi.
Indeed, screenings like that are opportunities that come once in a while. So please seize the opportunity and go know if you need to worry about your health or not. And then you can begin to get proper help. Marie-Laurence, thank you so much for today.
Merci pour ce temps.
Are you a banana, a mango, or an orange
très
fan?
Gentil. Si tout le matin tu pouvais être là pour m'offrir tous ces fruits, vraiment.
So tell me, is it a green or a yellow?
À ton choix aujourd'hui.
À mon choix. I want to give you a mango.
Oh, thank you.
I want to give you a mango because it's the season of mangoes, really. Bananas, we tend to have, on a les bananes presque toute la saison. All right, so enjoy your day. Exceptionally.
Tu sais, nous sommes dans l'ambiance de la fête nationale.
Yes, exactly.
L'ambiance de la fête nationale.
And I want to give you some ambience. This is freestyle on Hello Cameroon.
Wow.
It is a set of, the way it's set up, it looks like bricklayers, but for once, they put down the bricks and the shovels and everything, and then they started dancing. Please enjoy Galaxy Dancers.
Kadondo kadondo, sijana mzuri kadondo, kadondo kadondo kadondo, kurochi mukamwe. Kadondo kadondo kadondo, sijana mzuri kadondo, kadondo kadondo kadondo. Kurochi mukamwe. Ona nitendeza when I say you want in a million uchuma mzuri kari talimu byachiaye when I say you want in a million uchuma mzuri kari talimu byachiaye banange chenda bye sichira banga and what I can't say, the most beautiful, smart and serious. tomanya nti mukwano obeera nnyo smart olabika ate unique katawani yange kitwale abasinga obulungi ababeera te smart ayeyeyeye abawano basinze abeera gange katwalinawo kawanye Perfume wekuba mulembe, style yo mulembe, confidence mulembe. Style zezo, style zezo, ona nipendeza. Style zezo, style zezo, ona nipendeza. Ona nipendeza. Ona nipendeza. Kadondo kadondo kadondo, msichana mzuri kadondo, kadondo 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 sa. Edi Kenzo Mukambwe, kadondo kadondo kadondo, msichana mzuri kadondo, kadondo kadondo kadondo, Kurochi Mukambwe.
Hey, yes, that's how it is on Hello Cameroon. We just go to a set of bricklayers and we tell them, stop, some dancing. This group, they call them Galaxy Dancers. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. They were really cool. And I wasn't the only one enjoying them. Myra is here. And of course, the other guy who is part of this team that we are forming is here too. BTT Toy. Good morning, Myra.
Good morning, Pochi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Happy to have you here.
Same here.
It looks like you and I were running 24 hours and we're looking for 25 hours of work to run. Because I see you and I see you here and I see you there and I'm like, okay. Well.
And if you see me somewhere there, we saw each other.
So well, but don't worry. After the 20th of May, we'll probably have some rest.
Definitely.
I'm not sure you're going to have rest.
See, what's your problem?
I'm not sure, you guys.
Could you not just console?
Don't just please yourself.
Not
because
console us for running around the
after
clock.
the 20th of May is going to be June, and you have to wake up on rainy mornings to come to work. Cold mornings.
You're a very bad boy.
So we'll be ready for the cold.
Good morning.
Good morning, Pochi.
I thought you were our friend, but it's okay. I will treat Mara will treat him.
No problem.
Right?
That's what you guys have been doing. That's what you guys have been doing.
But Mara has chosen to talk today about your shorts, Beauty.
My shorts?
Yes.
Probably not mine because she's never seen my shorts.
How do we know? Mara, just talk.
Mara, have you seen my shorts?
I have really suffered in the hands of this guy. Jeez. Titi, what's wrong with you?
Well,
because she said Mara is going to talk about my shorts.
She didn't say your panties.
My shorts. I didn't say
shorts,
panties.
like
shorts,
when
like
you go on mission, don't you wear
Bermuda
shorts?
shorts.
That's what. When we go on mission, I wear shorts, but she has never seen my shorts.
All right. Okay, Mara, please, can you talk about shorts?
Okay, maybe we take it trousers first in general so that Titi can calm
so
down, and stop arguing about shorts that I've never seen.
Not boxers, you know.
Not boxers. Definitely. Thank you.
For that matter.
All right, when you hear the word trousers, what comes to your mind? What country comes to your mind?
Trousers. I'm thinking of the UK, but I don't know why.
Yeah, you're right.
Good.
You're very okay. And when you hear pants?
The US.
The US. Now, if you come to Cameroon and tell Titi that, please, I don't like your pants.
I like your pants.
Boy! I don't like he'll be so baffled because he might feel that you're talking about what he has underneath, the boxers.
The underwear.
Yeah. That's it. That's true. When we talked of pants, I was about saying in Cameroon, particularly in my village, or in Kumba, we call it dross. So.
There is something about, now that you talk about the British and the French, the British and the US, there is something about the British. I want to believe that's where the RP that we have thought started. But when the Americans wanted to speak English, they decided to localize it.
Localize
to make
it and
it
make
their
it their
own way. And in the process, they give it a lot of color.
Yeah.
That's because if you listen to the way the Americans speak, it's very colorful.
It's very colorful.
And then the British will be very straight jacket.
They are straight jacket and they hit it straight to the point.
Yeah.
And what is different is when a British man speaks, you hear everything he says.
Exactly.
But when an American speaks,
He
but
just
real
rolls it.
Americans, when they speak, you listen. So sometimes we're confused with these.
It could also
go-cams.
be an influence of
with these go-cams.
All right, les anciens parigots.
All right, let's go. Trousers before now have gone through different ages, so many of them. But what was really remarkable in fashion history was the Victorian age. And the Victorian age we had the early Victorian age that saw trousers that were tight-fitted, went right down to the sole of the feet with something that was attached to it. And then we have the middle Victorian period that saw trousers that were a little bit looser. And we have the real Victorian age now with Queen Victoria. And she was saying that there had to be some propriety in outfits. It had to be more straight. It had to be more fixed. Like you were saying, that the British people are very, very straight jackets. And the 20th century brought a little bit of modernity with Prince Edward. He was the first to actually wear something that looks like what Beauty Tea has, like the straight pants. And it was not exactly like what we have today, but Prince Edward. So, but I put together some of those remarkable outfits or trousers that have made history world over. Yes. But that time they called it bell bottoms.
The bell bottoms, yeah.
You'd want to understand they call it bell bottoms because it goes down straight away and
like
opens like a bell. And you have different designs. This one is really extravagant. It comes with some African prints on it. And it is like, I would say, the vavavoom. And it's really good for when you're going on stage.
You could give that to Fela Kuti if he was around.
Yes. Then this is, you have jeans.
This is Beauty Tea.
This is Beauty Tea, too cachet.
Yeah.
But what we should really understand or have in mind when it comes to this, no, this is sure a stage outfit. If I see you on the streets like this,
that's what Senior Pastor may be wearing.
Should try one of these now. When he's going for the grand finale of his show in Nigeria.
He will certainly win. I mean, if he wears that.
We wish him luck, of course. And this is another kind, like for the normal guy in town. It's a street guy. Pochi. You've been on the streets before, you don't spend too much. And it's really, 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 really crazy out there. And you would
baggy though. It looks like the.
It looks like the baggy. It's a modern version of the bell bottom right away. And so we'll move straight away to the second.
And you killed it with this one.
Yeah, this is another one. This in velvet form. And it's just for the guy out there that is so bold because it's red. You know what I think of guys that wear too much color.
And it looks like it has a lot of space for the behind.
Yeah, and this is sagesse. Look at that. It's so plain, so smooth, so fine. And it's not too feminine like the other ones that were
That's
really
for the guy who is taking a plane and who has a visa.
Pochi,
kind of
hit me
but Maya, please, just let me know.
You're so right. Now look at this. This should be a cowboy from Mexico.
Yes.
And if you find yourself wearing this in Cameroon, you should be asking yourself questions like maybe you go to the ranch somewhere in the Northwest region in Dock.
Or maybe you're nostalgic. like you were there some 10 years ago. And then
we move on to the second set. The second set of these pants, we would call them kickerbockers.
Okay.
You want to ask me why we'll call them kickerbockers? This is not a kickerbocker.
I'm hanging on your lips.
I think.
Because
you want to ask me why? They are actually kite-like pants that was inspired. The design came from, I think we're having the last phases of the bell bottoms while we wait for kickerbockers. And kickerbockers, I was saying, are actually inspired from the golf pants. You've seen those who play golf?
Exactly.
Yes, they have maybe like a long stocking that comes up to the knee, and then it's like an attachment that you keep it down there. So those are actually what kickerbockers are. And it's, back in the days, is a lot of what people
That's what
wore.
you're talking about.
Yes, these are kickerbockers. And they are really colorful. And people say that the golf game is a game of fun, is a game of color, is a game of fashion.
Is there any relationship between that dress and Scotland and golf? Because I saw the Scottish...
maybe the lines, the parallel and lines on it. And this is actually an old version of the kickerbockers, but it's coming back. Look at these two young men. They had something like that. And it's really coming back into fashion.
Until you say young, I was thinking they are old. I mean,
they are two little boys.
They are two little boys indeed.
And it was really fashion at the time. And any man in the society that could not stand up proper in a kickerbocker.
Look at that.
Look at. These are people from the army,
probably
the
reflecting
military.
over the catch.
What you want catch?
like, you know, maybe
That's
a worn
Jubala,
one.
what we call it, Jubala.
Oh, yes, this is it.
Now,
Myra,
Are those pockets?
no, they are hip joints.
Did you exaggerate this one?
I did not. It's actually like that. Sometimes when you see Elizabethan plays and the Roman plays, there were some descriptions of costumes that gave that attire, and designers just think that it's a way of bringing it back into fashion.
Like
but you hardly really see somebody on the streets today with that. In Europe, it's really used in most of the
You could
places.
actually steal a whole shop and put in that one and move.
This is still another kickerbocker, but a little bit more modern, and it's inspired by the Japanese wrestling, the traditional wrestling wear, and it's closely from there. It came back to what we call today, a lot of people call it in Cameroon, Bobaraba. That is so
okay. I see that in music too.
You
Some
see that in music.
That.
But sometimes I don't really feel comfortable wearing that particular design of trousers. I've never really tried them.
Whereas the thing is, should be comfortable.
This is another
though
one.
It is not classy. Like, it's not.
Some people wear it and it really brings class on them, but I'm just like...
I saw somebody wear that this week in this CRTV building, and it was good.
It was good.
But I would think like 3 times or 4 times before I get it.
I wouldn't even dare. I don't know what I think about it. I think this is just like an expression of what kickerbockers used to be at the time. And probably the golfers in the days were already playing. There we go. Now, these are guchos. You ask me what guchos are. They are simply skirt-like trousers.
All right.
And you'll be surprised, fashion before had it as something that was very feminine inclined. It was just for the girls, just for women, at a particular point in time. Okay, yes.
Is it mixed? Do men wear?
Right now it's mixed. The first 2 people that we saw were boys. And this is a girl version of it.
Titi's birthday is coming up, so Titi, we are going to offer you a pair of guchos.
I'm glad
this is another one.
My birthday.
This is another one. I have seen Kofi Olomi in this.
Yes, I have seen
Mayway.
Practically won everything. You know?
Yes, I have seen Mayway in this.
Trendy.
I have seen Petit Pays in this as well.
Yes, I remember Petit Pays in that.
It's really trendy. And this could be the hottest guys in the 60s at the time.
Thank you for saying the 60s, because I was like, okay, where are you? Okay, you're here.
The hottest guys in the 60s just rocking their Gucci pants, and you see that it has a lot of color. And this is actually a soldier from the Asia Minor era. You can imagine how long the Guccios were.
It has been in fashion.
Yes, it has been in fashion for a long time. And his fabric is made out of wool, like serious wool and animal skin. So you can imagine how heavy it is.
How many centuries after that?
It is still rocking. So fashion is just a change of people. And the same things are there. And sometimes we just accentuate a little bit and add some color and maybe finishing. Now we are looking at shorts. It's a complex affair for me. Let me come, but I'll take it slowly. Shorts, why? But you should know that those who inspire shorts are those that live on the islands, the Bermuda Islands, Seychelles, especially the Caribbeans. This is because everywhere is water. You don't want to wear long trousers and walk around the beach. Most of them are fishermen all the time. And so long trousers was not really a good thing, was not a good support system for fashion for them. So they came out with their shorts at the time, really Bermuda shorts, those that are colorful with palm trees and flowers on them, really reflect them. And so fashion in Europe, in France, in America kind of modified it and then brought something that could also fit our climate, our structure, our people. And I'll really say that a man should really be cute on the legs before you flirt.
You took it out from my mouth. I was going to say, now that we're looking at shorts, we're having a first impression of how men look downward, like from the legs. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about down like what you think. You are the bad person. I'm talking about their legs. And yes, Mara, you need to you
need to really look good down there before you try shorts, especially if you're not wearing shorts to stay around your home. If you're wearing shorts
going to the beach,
so you need to be beat.
If you're going to the beach,
what Titi? Please, I can't handle you. I can't deal with you.
Don't worry about Bill Titi yarning here. One of these days we'll take a picture of him in shorts and then we'll publish.
All right, Titi, pause for a while. We have something right now on our screens. Would you tell me what those are? They are zippers. They are zippers. They call them zippers because it was inspired, it was created by an American traveler salesman. He was called Whitecomb Judson. Do you know why he did that? Because each time he had to travel, he was selling. He was an ambulance seller. He traveled from plane to train, by road. And each time he couldn't carry a lot of outfits. So what he did was, he said, but what if I try something with so many zippers on them that I can put my pen here, my notes here, some articles that I sell here and there. And so that's how zippers were born.
Very practical.
Yes, sometimes if he's cold, he will zip from the knee, and he will have the long pants.
I think we've actually seen some of those here where you can cut the knee, remove that.
Yes, and you can even go way shorter than the knee. So that's why. And actually, we fall on the real thing.
Yeah.
The Italian version. Like, this is really the Italian suit.
Cameroonians are more into suits.
Yes, and Italians are very macho.
Oh, yeah.
They are very cutie in their outfits, and they don't play with fine lines. And they are lovers of finishing. And you would be surprised. People think today that fashion originated in France or America. No. It started in Italy. Like high fashion was in Milan. That is the capital of fashion.
And they've kept fashion.
And they have kept fashion all the time, all the way around.
Accessories.
So basically, you would see people going to work like this. A lot of young people, Abo Christian, when he wants to really go
super. Even our cameraman, Boom Chebe Jeremy, you would see him dressed in suits.
And he looked so cute in it.
And now that we're naming them before getting into trouble.
No, people should continue. Don't all BTT always looks like that.
See, have I seen you in a straight cut hair?
And of course, all the executives that we happen to see in the course of the day.
And you also have choices for red carpets as well. But they are a little bit daring. The pictures will flow and will fall on some. They are really daring. There you could try other bold colors. People are going with red these days. People are going with green. People are going with pink.
All the time.
And maybe some green shade on it to read voila. You see?
That's
so
a mix.
People are really going.
Well, if you're one of those thinking of being part of Kama on the 27th of May here in Yaoundé, look at those outfits very well. It's good to plan ahead. Don't take the risk.
But the trick is, I would even suggest that if we want to go to Kama, like you say, maybe we could do those pants in our African prints.
Absolutely. Add a touch of your own.
Add a touch of your own. And you have exactly those straight cut lines, fine lines, all the definitions, and you still rock and you still look
One thing that would definitely happen if you get your own touch is you will catch the eye of the camera.
Yeah, I think somebody tried that on the Nigerian red carpet, the AMA Awards. That was Uti Nwachuku, and he made a lot of noise. And he went from tie to the trousers to the jacket, and he rocked. Fine. And the next time AMA came, a lot of men were going down the red carpet with that. So now packaging is a problem. Now you see that because it's too tight, there is some problem. He's actually a coach, and I'm sure that there was a lot of agitation.
I was going to give you the name of that.
Look at that. Yeah. That's the last picture, yes. A lot of men blame women. They say that we dress. Yeah, they say we are too wild. They say we dress too sexy. They say we are this,
and
we are that.
Aggress them with the way we dress.
They are aggressing me actually with that as well. So package properly, especially
you chose that
especially
that was the last picture. To say that there is something that is a problem with packaging. Okay, avoid that, Myra, please.
Titi, especially when you're from a size 10, 11, 12, 13, and let me
look at you. You are properly packaged.
You're properly packaged.
I mean, what is wrong with you?
Look at
You're properly packaged. So stop curling women all the time.
Properly packaged.
Package well, man.
Because you guys can afford it. So, Myra, thank you.
Package
Have
well.
a beautiful day. And but you know, Titi has not been very fair to us today. So, Titi, no bananas for you. I'm going to offer you bananas.
Don't worry, you are giving us bananas to send me.
Myra, with all our love,
Thank you.
Don't give even a bit.
I can't.
Myra,
trust me on that
those
one.
bananas are for you. You are just a caretaker of those bananas. They are my bananas.
In fact, before you package well, you need to be able to pay for what you're wearing.
Of course.
So do you want to give us job prospects for today?
Of course, yeah. Good morning. Today we're having this first proposal coming from Framework Convention Alliance in Douala. They are in charge in the fight, or they are concerned with the fight against tobacco. That's the consumption of tobacco, and the fighting tobacco, advocating for good health. Now they are looking for an advocacy officer to work in their NGO in Cameroon, because they are spread over some African countries. You need to have a first degree in public health or in a social science field. You need to have experience working with an organization that is based, that's focused in the domain of health. And you must be perfectly bilingual. For the documents, you need a cover letter, that's an application letter, and a CV, including salary proposals. That's on your curriculum vitae, you must indicate the kind of salary that you expect to get. And now when you have this, you add to that 2 referees, 2 people to attest that you are qualified for the job. You need to give their names, their contacts, and of course where they work, their let's say their post of responsibilities and organizations where they work. Now you send this to the email address you find on the screen. The first you have on the screen, which is job@fctc.org/FCA advocacy officer. Just copy the link, the first link you have on the screen, for an advocacy officer to work with Framework Convention Alliance that's charged in the fight against tobacco consumption. Now we go to Transition Holdings. Transition Holdings is looking for a logistics assistant, and they say here you must have had a degree or an HND in logistics and transport, and of course experience working, which you have to show proof of. You just have to follow the link you find on the screen. That's the website to get the full vacancy announcement, application details, and the link where you drop your application. So the website is http://www.transition.com/jobs-Cameroon. So copy the second you have on the screen, and that goes for the second offer we're proposing to you this morning. Now let's get down here in Yaoundé to this institution called Institut Supérieur JIMIT. That's JIMIT, Higher Institute of Information and Technology. It's located at Chateau Ngwaikele. They are looking for a bilingual secretary. You need to be bilingual, as they say. You must master basic computer software programs, especially those that have to go or that go with the responsibilities that you have to, carry out. You must hold at least HND or a BTS in secretarial duties. You must, of course, have 2 years at least of work experience to work as a bilingual secretary at Institut Supérieur JIMIT, just beside the Higher Institute of Youth and Sports at Chateau Ngwaikele. Now, what you do is you just have to drop, call, not dropping, because they say they'll prefer that you call, and then they will tell you when they give you an appointment to come and drop your application. So you call the number you find on the screen. That's 242-180-154. 242-180-154. The latest date for application is the 9th of June. Please call the number and they will give you more information on that. A company in Bastos that's here in Yaoundé is looking for a secretary. A company in Bastos needs a secretary. You just send your CV to the email address you find on the screen. That's the 4th item on your screen. The email contact is camerooncontracting@gmail.com. camerooncontracting@gmail.com. If you want to work as a secretary with this company in Bastos, send just your curriculum vitae to that email address. We are ending with Dangote Cement. They came just this morning. You're probably not going to have that on screen. Please just take the email and then the various job offers that they have. They have a series of them. I've downloaded just 3 for now. Dangote Cement is looking for a store manager. You must have a bachelor's degree in logistics and transport to qualify for the job. They're also looking for a chief security officer. You must have at least the GC advanced levels and 15 years of work experience in that domain as a security officer to work as chief security officer with Dangote Cement. Now, the last one I've succeeded to get this morning is senior sales officer. You must have a degree in marketing in any commercial field. It may be finance field or commercial field to apply to work as a senior sales officer with Dangote. Now, you send just your CV to this email address, recruitment-cm@dangote.com. recruitment-cm@dangote.com. That's where you send just your CV. You have details on these on my Facebook page and on All About Jobs on our social platform on WhatsApp, so that you can get.
I'm sure hoping that you come back and testify. Beauty, thank you so much.
Thanks for that, Pochi.
No banana for you.
The way it came so quickly, I knew you just wanted to send me out my bananas.
In fact,
I'm not shaking.
Today
Pastor,
you're not
I'm not leaving this chair.
There is a
senior pastor
who has joined us.
Pray that they give me bananas.
And
tell them that
while
it's
we
going
wait
to rain on them. They don't give me bananas.
Titi, calm down.
Myra, he's not going to be, as they say, he's not going to pass me and you, right?
No feet.
But while we do that, let me give you a moment to laugh, because Senior Pastor is in a very serious business. But here is an idea of what he's into.
You know why we don't get
Titi, come off here.
Because our song goes over here, it make you crazy. When you go for driving, when you go for India, their song will fine. For a quiet song, they drive with all gladness. Do not get accident because their temperature is very low. See Indian driver when they drive. Hold on. Now, that for India. But for America, accident will be small because their song will hold small, but at least normal. Here, American driver when they drive. Yeah. Hold on. Down American drivers. But Nigeria, Chris people they did it. Their song hot. Accident also. Here Nigeria driver they drive. Here is song with the year. So they are beginning the hustle. If I take and pass that time, that job will be sweet again. If you worry. But Cameroon every day to allow on the road accident. Our song hot set a decrease. Yet our own driver that song where they where they travel. Every day drive also accident here.
Well, the first time I watched that, I actually thought I would choke because you actually imagine the driver and that chugu. Senior Pastor, give me 5. Yeah, good boy. Yes, very good. In fact, you're not here alone, though, in case you hear a third voice. Patience Pat, who is a member of H1, Humble Ones, is a gospel group, and they have a lot of songs that you can actually check out on the internet, on Google or on YouTube. Anyhow, you will get them. So Patricia is here with Patience is here. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Right. So, but let's talk with this guy who is actually at the final stage of an international competition in Nigeria. He'll be telling us a little bit more about that. But Senior Pastor, over to you.
Yes. This one is hello to all of you. And before we go, let's just anything I talk now, just respond with Sean.
Okay.
Sure. National unity is a reality. Cameroon is united in its diversity, devoting the idea of peace as one community. But we need to connect the laws of divinity that will determine our productivity. The enemy is suffering from insanity. That is why I want to cause enemy between us and the Almighty by making us commit iniquity. But if you can accept punctuality, accountability, we must surely have stability and prosperity. Please clap for my creativity.
In fact, if this is how you preach in that your ministry,
my ministry,
you can count me in. I'll be one of the donors for that ministry very soon. So, Senior Pastor, you've been in Nigeria in a competition and you got to the finals.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I went for the...
Praise the Lord.
Yes,
praise the Lord.
I went for a comedy show. They call it AY Live. And normally invites comedians. Gordons have been here by my invitation, clean the drum at Bororo. So this time around, they wanted to return the favor. So they decided to bring me on AY Live. So I went there, but I went there 1 week before. So when on Instagram, I saw that they are doing audition for Alibaba Continuity. I don't even know what, I just wanted to go. When I went there, that's when I saw that we have more comedians in Nigeria that want to make people laugh more than the people that want to laugh.
Okay.
I mean, I saw.
So you joined the bandwagon.
Then I just asked them, what did they register? And when I registered my name to see what they are doing, I was just there. And I saw some grandfathers of comedy. They came and said, okay, everybody just have 1 minute to be funny. You don't need 2 hours to be funny. If you are funny, even or 30 seconds, we know that you are funny. So it was like a blind audition. So you don't even know. You see people enter and they come out looking. So you don't even know who is funny. Everybody is just looking moody. And so when it got to me, I entered the place and they like, where are you from? Well, okay, who are your name? I said, my name is Senior Pastor of Laughing Ministry. Where are you from? I said, from Cameroon. So they were really shocked. What went from Cameroon? And you want to compete? I said, yes. They said, okay, 1 minute. Let's see what you got. Then I presented something very funny, which I know, something that came on me on Women's Day. One idea, Woman Jesus. So I was telling them, as you know, we pray in the name of the Father, not Mother. And after our prayer, we conclude Amen, not a woman. We have only God the Father, not God the Mother. So I was telling them, assuming that we have Woman Jesus, how will it look like? Typical woman want to go to the cross. It's like, Jesus, you are about going to the cross. Now, woman with all that drama was like, oh my God, I want to go to the cross. Please come and do my eyelashes, come and do my nails. I want to go and die for my sins. So I did so much. I presented a lot of things. Woman Jesus, I presented woman Jesus at the cross. Man Jesus was at the cross, and they asked, if you are son of God, save yourself and save us. He did not say anything. The woman with all that drama, if you are daughter of the Lord, save yourself and save us. Huh? She would just remove her hand and ask the other thief, was that the one you poisoned your husband? Was that the one? So I presented, and they laughed. They said, okay, go. The next day they called me that you qualify. From that 100 of something, they selected just 12. And I was among the 12. And that was Easter Monday, a program at Muson Center there in Lagos. The place was jam-packed. All big comedians were there. When it got to me, and the opportunity, what they are looking for is not what you prepared. They write a topic and they will keep. And you will select any topic that you select. You talk about something there and there. So they don't even want you to be funny. They want and they are looking for the winner will go home with a brand new car, a 1 year salary. So I went there. People are picking. Prayerfully, I picked campaign and I did something about campaign, and they laughed. And when from that 12, they selected 6. I was inside the 6. From there, they selected 3. I was inside the 3. So the final will be on the 1st of January in Lagos.
And we are praying that you win. We are praying that you win.
They need for support.
What do you need that those who are laughing?
If you are laughing, invite me in your program. Any ceremony, they'll make them laugh. That's our job. If you go there, that's comedian have job here.
How do you want Senior Pastor to buy a suit like that one and wear all the nice dresses?
Human being.
If you're only laughing in your homes?
You don't invite us. They don't even encourage. They believe that if you're a comedian.
In fact, we have heard. Senior Pastor, thank you so much for coming on Hello Cameroon.
Thank you.
The lady who was here and partaking in your ministry, because we're in church today, this is his ministry, is Patience, and she's part of a group, a singing group called Humble Ones or H1. You know them? Good. Actually, we're really in the spirit right now. I'm going to ask our producer to please give us an earshot of what H1 they do so that we get to also discover them because they're here with us in the studio. Here is one of their songs.
It's amazing, amazing favor. Oh, Baba, I got you coffee. Praise. Hallelujah, Hosanna. Yeah. No one can temper. You are my God. Hey. No one like you. It's amazing.
It's amazing. No one like God. In fact, as I said, we're totally in the spirit this morning. Okay. Well, Lois has joined us. He's a member of the H1 group. Good morning, Lois.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Pleasure, sir.
All right. So, Patience, tell me a bit about this group. I hear you are totally gospel and you sing to promote some positive values like humility.
Yeah. First of all, we have a vision. We believe in unity in the body of Christ. So when we met in the church, we are 3 actually, since the podium is taking just 2 of us. Yeah. So we actually met in the church and we discovered that we have this same vision about unity in the body of Christ. What do I mean unity in the body of Christ? You know, like churches are so they're differentiating themselves from others. Like a parent will say, my pikin no go marry for Presbyterian, Choduan no go marry for born again. And we don't believe that. We believe in one Christ, one God. So we stand for this unity. And the reason why it's H1 is because before we get to this unity, we need to be humble.
Okay.
You cannot be united with somebody if you don't have a humble spirit.
Okay.
So we are the humble ones fighting for this unity vision through music.
That's a powerful vision.
Yeah.
But tell me, Lois, when did you start this group and how is it going? Is it going well?
Well, by the grace of God, everything is moving on well. We started this group 1 year back. And by the grace of God, everything is moving on. You know, there's nothing you do with God and it will be a failure.
Okay.
So with God, everything is cool and everything is moving on so well.
Do you want to name the third person who we couldn't have because our set does not permit us? But who is the third member of the team?
His brother Desmond is right behind it.
Okay, he's actually the photographer taking pictures of all what is happening here. So what is the way forward for you? I mean, you have videos out there, you have a strong project behind it. What next?
Okay, as Shirley said, we want to focus most of the on the youth. Because if you discover today the music the youth listens out there, there are some of them that are too perverse for the youth, for the upgoing and good reasoning of the youth. So we're out to really serve this type of music that is moving. If you discover most of the youth love music that are moving.
They like rhythm.
Yes. So that's why we're really coming up with rhythms like this to really encourage them to listen. By listening, they'll listen to the wordings and they'll get to know Jesus. That's our primary motive.
Okay. Any last message to those watching us, your fans?
Yeah, there's something I always say everywhere I go, that our parents who are already old now, they are wishing they knew God while they were young. So we are so happy having known and understood who God is and still understanding him because he's infinite, he's eternal. So there's a lot to know about him. So we youths are encouraging other youths out there who are not yet in Christ to join us in this race. Let us just do it in music, in preaching, or however we can do it. And
it's not all about how you dress.
It's not about how you dress. Thank you. Thank you very much, Lois and Patience and the whole team for coming from Douala to be here on the program. I wish you a lot of success and keep inspiring. You do inspire.
Yeah, and one more thing.
Yes.
Please, I know after our first album, everybody is waiting like what's happening to H1. They're not coming on. We have a surprise for you.
Very soon. We like surprises. We'll be at the heart of that surprise. Beautiful day. In a short, maybe we'll have a little bit of that music. Just a quick transition before we give you our regular rendezvous with Ruth Angel on the CRTV. Thank you. Bye-bye.
We worship you. Hallelujah.
Right. Thank you so much, H1. They call them humble ones, and there are a set of young people who've decided to sing about positive values and encourage people to think better and do better. That's called inspiration. Please, ladies and gentlemen, keep inspiring. Now let's look at what is coming up on the CRTV. And Ruth Angel, who's joined me, says we're going to be talking a lot about national colors and about national unity. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
How are you?
I'm great.
Okay, tell me.
I'm a humble one today.
We've all been humble this morning.
Yes. What I want to say is just that this week we are talking a lot about the military because we are trying to raise them up. They have been doing so much for our country, Cameroon. They have been defending us on different frontiers, and they are putting all they have. And at 11 a.m. we'll be talking on Follow Me. You know, this week I said the military, and yes, we are trying to talk about the women in uniform.
I saw women police officers yesterday.
Yes, and you can remember just the graduation of the Combined Military Academy. The person who was top of class
the valedictorian was
a woman. And I'm so proud of her. She was so young. So on Follow Me, still this week, we'll still be dwelling on women in uniform, their difficulties, what are some of the cliches that are being attached to these women. You want to find out, and you want to follow those women, let them tell you their stories on Follow Me at 11 a.m. this morning. And then at 12:30 we are going to Still History, and this trip will be talking about a lot about the history of Cameroon, and we are in Douala. Vuri. Where are those cameras? Does it say something to you?
Yes, the River of Prawns.
And yes, which
could be the origin of the name of our country.
Yes. Yes, and that's what River Vuri is meant for. But this time they're talking about the Vuri estuary because it has been facing a lot of difficulties with pollution and population expansion and population pressure.
That's true.
Yes, Vuri River is facing that a lot. So you want to find out on this documentary that's coming from CRTV Douala what they are facing, what they can do to combat all pollution, because pollution, it really disturbs our society and the atmosphere.
Some of that actually destroys the mangrove in the Vuri, and you know the ecosystem, the water life depends on the mangrove, those trees there.
Yes, if you want to eat fish and crayfish, you need to stop that. And there was someone here this morning who talked about protecting our environment. And then at 6:30 p.m. we're talking about Défendre le Cameroun. And this time we're
defending the nation.
Yes.
Yes.
The nation,
those guys.
My dad was a gendarme, so chapeau.
Yes, and chapeau to all of you. In fact, if you're wearing a uniform and you're doing anything to defend this country, you're here in our hearts.
And yes, and they are doing a lot to defend our country. That's what this documentary or this magazine is talking about. And it's at 6:30 p.m. Those people are going through a lot to raise our green, red, yellow above high. And then at 10 p.m., this is a little bit of sad story because it's a documentary coming from the Ministry of Defense. It's talking about this military people who have who have left us defending our country, and they are talking about their families as well, what they have been up to, what they are doing to sustain those family members and to keep their loved ones' spirit or memory alive. And then I'm taking you to Friday. Friday we are talking about Until Peace Comes in a documentary at 8 p.m. and another one at 2 p.m. And this time, this documentary Until Peace Comes is talking about Kolofata, Amshide, Photocall. This is where it all happened. Boko Haram, the effect or whatever happened to it. This is all what happened to these people. Until Peace Comes is a documentary that's trying to tell Cameroonians that everything is being restored back up there in the north region of Cameroon. Security, peace, the Vivre Ensemble attitude is coming back to the people. You want to watch this documentary on Friday at 8 p.m. And that's where
you're listening to Ruth Angie, and she's talking about the Vivre Ensemble. You understand that we are all talking about national unity.
Yes.
And we will be talking a lot more about national unity. But now that you say that, Ruth, can I ask you what's your opinion about the Vivre Ensemble?
My opinion, I always believe in togetherness.
Okay.
I love family. I love when we are in accord with one another. We might never agree, but we agree to disagree. So no matter what's happening in Cameroon, no matter how affected you are, because the way I feel is not basically the way you're going to feel. So, but I always want us to put our heads together for a better Cameroon and for a better tomorrow.
Well, you know what? You were talking and holding your hands, and I was looking at your hand. The fingers, some of the fingers are short, some are long. That's how we are, you know. She's wearing something else, I'm wearing something else. I'm called Pochi, she's called Angel. That's how the world is. Make it your home, despite the way it looks. After all, we are all just passing, you know. After some time, they'll forget about us. Shakespeare is history. We will be history. All right, that's where we end it today, and we'll only meet you after the 20th of May. So we want to wish you a happy 20th of May. However you think about that, they use it to reflect on being a Cameroonian and belonging to a nation. Bye bye. Have a beautiful day, and see you on Tuesday.
Celebration time. Ready to dance with Jesus. We are celebrating now. Celebration time. Papa God, I give you all the praise. I give you all the glory.